Hello everybody, Flamin' Shark back with another video, and today we're going to be jumping into our 12th episode of Fate Stay Night and our 10th episode of the Fate route. I'm curious how much longer we have. I feel like we're maybe kind of getting somewhere. So you might notice we're not where we left off. So what we are doing, what I set up, and then this was, I apologize. I really should have this like ready. I could just like pull up the comment and like give credit to people. I might actually do that in editing, who knows. But there was a commenter who actually left a comment that was actually very helpful. Usually comments in my channel not very helpful. You know, I don't, admittedly there's a lot that I don't read because some people are silly and spoiled, but to be fair, for the most part my channel is actually really good on that. I know I have from what I hear, there's definitely some comments that do get deleted, but generally speaking, there's usually not much issue. Right here. So, what I did was I went into the main menu, and I turned off the H scenes, and I basically did my last save prior to the H scene, which was the choice in the Einsburn Castle, where in the end, it was Saber and Rin coming in, and it was the choice to either... the choice where I decided to pretend I was tied up, and there were three options. So I went there, and then I just skipped the scenes. I just skipped the scenes up to here, and this should be the Rialta Nua H replacement. So this should be the Rialta Nua scene. What's really cool about this setup for Fate is I get to experience the H scenes that were originally in the game, which, cringe or not, I want the original game experience, but I also get the Rialta Nua experience. So I also get what they did after the fact, what I assume is also what they adapted for the anime, because I'm assuming he didn't come inside Saber in the anime. As based as that is, I'm assuming that's not what happened. Obviously, we're in a weird sauce, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting from the scene that we actually have not seen, which is the alternate version of the scene where he doesn't fuck Saber, and instead, we'll see. And I'm curious because it's like, we're kind of going to get like double lore. I'm not sure which is like the more canon lore. I'm assuming this lore kind of overwrites the original lore, because... this is like I guess for lack of a better term, the all ages version, even though I honestly don't think this would be an all ages game. This would probably be I assume this game would be rated MA, or easily it would be teen. I don't know. It would probably be MA though. A borderline if it was like actually got like a proper like international like US release or something. But yeah, so we're going to be checking out the scene that we haven't seen because I want to get like the full experience. I'm not a pussy. I want to do the H scenes. I think it's memes. I think it's funny, but I also understand if people don't want to see them, so that's why I'm putting them in the description. I don't know if there's any more in the Fate route. I'm kind of assuming it's just one a route, because that's like where you get for your hard work. That's the thing though, right? Like, it's weird, because like in a normal visual novel, it's like your routes are like in your classic visual novel, the routes are like which girl you're gonna get and like fall in love with or fuck in this case. But it's like weird, right? Because if this is the quote unquote Saber route, right? Why, like, even though there's absolutely ship vibes between Saber and Shiro, it's really weird that they fucked in like a totally not shippy and totally like utilitarian way, even though they were enjoying themselves and like coming and all that bullshit. It's very strange. I still don't know what the routes mean. Like, again, in a normal visual novel, they mean which girl you're gonna get, and that still might be what they mean, because then Unlimited Blade Works would be Rin, and Heaven's Feel would be fucking someone. I mean, I would assume either Fujimura or Sakura, but I don't even know, honestly. Or, like I said, there are three different tellings of the Holy Grail. Well, obviously, they're going to go differently anyway, so they're going to be different tellings, or they're continuations. But again, Archer dying here, I feel like basically confirms that Unlimited Blade Works and Heaven's Feel are retellings, and we are going to actually get three different versions of the Holy Grail War, that's going to give us three different experiences. It's one of those things where it's like each route in totality will give you the full experience of the game, which I love that as a concept. It's just the classic visual novel thing. Anyways, the point is, this is a new scene. This is the, I guess, current canon of what actually happens here. Who fucking knows? Anyways, once we pass between the exceptionally tall trees, an unexpected sight appears before me. Yep. Oops. Sorry.
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
So far, I believe this is the same dialogue. I'm assuming this will be fully voiced too, because I assume it was I believe Real Tenua is where the voice part was, and that's why there was no voice acting in the H scene, because it's from the original game as opposed to the Real Tenua version. The entire ground floor is taken over by trees. The only usable rooms are on the second floor, and this is the best of those. Miraculously, the windows are still intact. I don't know how, but I can see the night sky from here.
割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
So I'm not really going to say anything about like this until we get to the part where it diverges, because so far I believe this is all the same. And there was even a part, like it's the part where they stopped voice acting in the where it started to get to the H scene stuff. I don't think it was exactly where I cut. I don't think I made my cut until right before it got lewd. Okay, we're still using the bed. So that's still part of this scene. Alright. Yeah, this is still all the same.
シロこっち。セーバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
Yeah, that still makes perfect sense.
ああ、今行く。
I lay Saber down on the old bed.
どう？苦しいセーバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？
Yep.
ええ、シローがここまで運んでくれましたから、まだ体を保っていられるようです。そう。ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。あれから1時間、イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしても、もう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば、朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていられる。
Yeah, okay. Yeah, like I said, this is all still the same as last time. Her mumbling reminds me, we were able to make it to this ruin, but what happened to Berserker and Archer? Yeah. He remained at the castle to keep Berserker there. It's been over an hour, so Archer should have already retreated from the castle as well. No.
遠坂、あいつは。
Nope. Tosaka doesn't answer. She just places her right hand on her chest as if holding something dear. That tells me of Archer's fate. Tosaka's command spell is on her right arm. The master and the servant are connected. As Saber sensed my danger, if the master can sense the life and death of their servant...
遠坂、あいつは。
まあね。足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。
Man, like, obviously we can meme about Rin grieving by, like, orchestrating a threesome. And it's, like, weird because I want to say, like, how hilarious that is, but weirdly enough, I actually can justify that in her legitimate psyche as a character, which is the funny part, because it actually is kind of on brand for her. Like, that's the whole thing, right? Like, everything involving Saber and Shiro in that entire H scene was cringe as fuck, but Rin was actually so on point that, like, she carried that scene. And it was, like, really weird experience, because I loved everything that was going on with Rin, and the other stuff was just there.
あいつ、最後までキザだったな。
But I'm very curious what this alternate way of powering up Saber is going to be. Silence follows. The silence that seems to last forever is...
けど、無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
Aborted by the sound of Tosaka punching her left hand with her right.
悔やむのはここまでよ。 悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の信条。ここまで来たらあなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
I mean, you definitely made sure he was resolved last time. Holy shit, you were making sure his cock was hard. Jesus fucking Christ.
覚悟って何のだよ。
I'm assuming whatever this is going to be very painful for Shiro and possibly Saber as well.
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
I mean, obviously, it's really interesting too because the reason we didn't watch the fight between Archer and Berserker is because the fight likely semi-spoiled who Archer is. And it's like, now it's interesting because now that we know that, you know, Saber is Arturia, right? It really does kind of open the door for so many possibilities. Like, obviously the main reason I never considered that was because Saber's a woman, right? And I didn't know if we were doing that. Like, I didn't know if gender bending was a thing in Fate. I'm not surprised in the slightest it fucking is, but I didn't know, because I surprisingly know basically nothing about the Fate. I knew what Saber looked like. And Rin, I think, right? I feel like I definitely knew what Rin looked like, and I think I knew what Saber looked like. It's been so long now, I don't even remember what I knew before I started. It's blurred in with what's actually happened in this game, but I'm pretty sure I knew what the two of them, or was it just... It might have actually just been Rin. I had definitely seen Rin before and didn't even know she was a Fate character.
セイバーを連れてたらこの森からは出られないし、彼女を自然に回復させるにしたって時間がかかる。どのみちイリアに追いつかれるわ。わかる？私たち3人揃って森を出るにはそれができなければ。
Yeah, we've seen this before, yeah. So I'm gonna start skipping through this a little bit. I don't want to obviously skip. I don't think it'll even let me actually because this is even though it's the same so far, this is considered the alternate scene. Yep. I'm still reading it though, because the refresher's never bad.
倒すしか。
Yeah, like there's no option.
そういうことよ。けど、それほど絶望的な状況ってわけでもないわ。
Here we go.
いくらバーサーカーだって、アーチャーと戦った後なら何らかの傷を負っているはず。逆に言えばね。バーサーカーが傷を負っている今こそ。
けど、肝心のセイバーを回復させる方法があるのか。こんな場所じゃ満足な治療もできないんじゃ。
Alright, I'm gonna stop skipping from here.
セイバーの治療に場所は関係ないわ。セイバーは単に魔力切れで弱っているだけだもの。一定量の魔力さえ補充してあげれば、あとは以前通りの能力を発揮してくれる。
So I'm curious if this is gonna like completely like break the H scene canon, or if this is gonna be like maybe Shiro has to like make her drink his blood or something, right? Because what I'm thinking is the whole point in the H scene was that semen is, I guess, a conduit's a good way to put it, and I'm wondering if the alternate kind of canon here is going to be blood. Because blood's been very... one, it would be painful, which would be on course for Magus in this fucking series, but... because everything fucking hurts in this series, which is one of the cool things, actually, about Fate. But also, it would be, like, on brand, but also it wouldn't really, like, overwrite the other version of the scene. Like, I feel like, because you can make the... So I kind of have a feeling it's going to be his blood. Which, I mean, that's still kind of really fucking gross, but... I mean, I guess maybe they could, like, IV it into her, but that's not like they have that type of equipment, so I was thinking just drink it. Might work. Tosaka's exclamation, yeah, it's almost depleted. To replenish her magical energy.
いい？セイバーを助けたいならセイバー自身に人を襲わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。
Clearly that's not the case.
なら答えは一つよ。レイジを使いなさい、エミヤ君。それで最悪の事態は避けられるわ。
There are 2 command spells left. I have to use the... Yeah. So again, we've still seen all of this, so I just don't want to miss the, cut point. I sneak a glance at Saber, who's lying down. Yep.
いや、トサカ。
Mm-hmm.
それでもセイバーに人を襲わせるのは反対だ。
Yeah, it'd be one thing if Saber didn't care, but that would hurt her deeply.
今回は私も同意よ。これが他の場所だったらその提案をしたでしょうけどね。でもここはイリアスフィールの庭の中。人の魂なんかどこにもない。あの城の中にはバーサーカーとイリアスフィール以外の誰かがいるかもしれないけど、それを探しに行くのはミスミス七に赴くようなものよ。
Yeah, that would be a really dumb idea.
食べさせるためには外に出ないといけない。本末転倒になるってことか。
So I feel like this chain of dialogue is new. I don't remember this chain of dialogue. Everything before I remember, but this whole chain, when it starts with I would have given that proposal if this was another place, I think this is new. Tosaka nods. I'm glad that I don't have to make Saber attack people, but then how can we replenish her magical energy?
でもどうするんだトサカ。そもそも俺がセイバーに魔力を補充できないから困ってるんだよな。
方法はあるわよ。その昨日ってもう一昨日に説明したでしょ。
Yeah, I think you said
サー
this
バント
last
に魔
time.
力を分け与える方法は共有の魔術とそれ以外にわずかな方法しかないって。
Yeah, no, this line was definitely
あ
in
の
it
時は
though.
まあこんな状況になるとは思わなかったから言わなかったんだけど。
What's that gonna be this time? I recall the conversation yesterday. Yeah, I think this is... In fact, I think it's right here where she says, like, you basically have to fuck Saber. So I'm curious where this is going. She certainly did say...
まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスが通っているはずだから、
Yep.
まだ方法があるかもしれないけど。
Something like that.
思い出した。パスは通ってるから魔術以外の方法があるとかなんとか。
Wait, did I say something wrong? Maybe I misheard her back then because I was shocked about making Saber attack people.
トサカ、なんか方法があるのか。
Here we go.
まあね、私がサポートできる範囲で2つ。この状況だと荒っぽい方になるわ。
She's still blushing too.
いい？セイバーの魔力不足は素人のパスが不完全だからよ。彼女を回復させるにはこのパスを完全な形に通し直すしかない。
Okay.
確かにそうできれば一番なんだろうが。
Alright.
俺はパスの通し方なんてわからない。
And this would permanently solve the problem, too. First of all, we had that problem since Saber was summoned. We wouldn't have been in this trouble if the line to supply her with magical energy was established.
話自体は簡単よ。素人セイバーを共感状態にして霊的なパスをつなぎ直すだけ。契約破棄や最小間以外にパスを修復するためにはそれしかない。
We just need to reconnect the spiritual path, huh?
そのためにセイバーにシローの魔術回路を移植するの。
Oh! That sounds way more painful and somewhat less gross than what I was thinking. Transplant my magic circuit into Saber?
セイバーとシローのパスを新しくするには霊的に重要な器官を移植するしかないわ。
Spiritually important organs. Well, I mean, I guess that's... I mean, I don't know if I'd call that an organ, but I guess to a magist it kind of is.
サーバントとマスターが聖杯の力を借りているのなら、それに匹敵する強い結合を生み出さないとパスは通らない。
Is this gonna sacrifice something, though, from Shiro's perspective? Like, what's the downside here? Because if it was this easy, you would have just went to this right away. Is it because it's incredibly painful, or... like, he could potentially die? Like, what's the reason we didn't do this before is my question.
そのためにはマスターの魔術回路をサーバントに移植する。それくらいやらないとシローの力がセイバーには届かないから。
Because based on everything we know about magic circuits and everything that we've learned in the game, I assume this is incredibly dangerous to Shiro. Magic circuit. A mechanism Magi need so they can use Ode to activate mana. This is the core of Magi, and without this, one cannot create magical energy, which is the source of magic. Yeah, will he just not be able to do magic after this? I mean, I would make that trade if it means that Saber's gonna be able to just, like, be powered up, for sure. It is more important than their life for Magi. You can even call it the meaning of their existences. I can give that magic circuit to someone else?
サーバントの回路をマスターに移植するのは危険すぎるわ。
Yep, Ghost Liners, we went over that before.
英霊の回路は死にゆく人の体に移しても強烈な拒絶反応しかもたらさない。そうなると残された手はシローの回路をセイバーに移植するしかないってこと。
Okay.
でもそれは張り巡らされた神経を引きちぎられることと同じよ。そうなればその負担は
The one the organs are transplanted from. So I have another question then. So obviously, yeah, so it's just gonna be insanely painful. And of course, Shiro's a fucking... If there's anything I can absolutely give Shiro credit for, he's a fucking man in this regards. He'll take that like a fucking champ. So, this would be actually really poetic and really interesting in the context of this story. If this is the direction we go with Saber and Shiro, does that mean that Shiro is gonna feel all of Saber's pain and they're gonna kind of be one in a deeper sense? Which, it's interesting because, I mean, they're very different ways to approach the same thing, right? Because both actions, both versions of this scene, if I'm interpreting this correct, really do result kind of in the same thing as far as narratively. Obviously, they both act as the plot device that allows us to refuel Saber and make her be able to kick some ass and take names and help us win the Holy Grail War. But from a just interpersonal relationship dynamic between Saber and Shiro, both of these events, as varied as they seem to be, are both in unusual circumstances bringing Saber and Shiro closer together. Obviously, one, by fucking. That is unironically a very good way to get closer to someone. I know that sounds like memes, but like, realistically speaking, I know hopefully we're all adults here, probably not, but when you fuck someone, you're closer to them after than you were before. There's no fucking doubt about that. And on the flip side, here, this is like taking that concept, but like times 10, if anything. We're just doing a more extreme, more fate-ish version where it's like, yeah, let's just make Shiro torture himself, essentially, and like rip his fucking being out of his body, sort of, and just put it into Saber, because this series loves just intense internal pain.
待ってください、リン。それはあまりにもシローに。
Yeah, that's just gonna make Shiro want to do it more. If you call him a pussy, you call him chicken, he's gonna be like, fuck you, bitch, I'm doing this shit.
そうしないと誰も生き残ることはできない。あなたなら分かっているはずよ、セイバー。
That's the thing, right? We're in a scenario where they have no choice. And Saber can't argue that. That's the thing. Rin didn't bring this up until now. I take care as I gulp so they won't hear it. I have to get my priorities straight. I have no time to hesitate if it's clear what needs to be done.
トサカ、それは成功するのか?
Oh, it's even worse if there's only like a theoretically, right? She's gonna say
成功さ
theoretically.
せるわ。でも成功させることはそのまま安全につながるわけじゃない。
I actually really like that response from Rin. She's like, I'll make it work. You know what? Like, if we're doing something this extreme and we're in this dire of a situation, I'll figure it out. Like, I'm a genius magi. I'm gonna figure it out.
失敗させるつもりはさらさらないけど、成功すればシローの魔術回路はセイバーに奪われる。
Jesus
むしろ
Christ.
失敗した方がいいんじゃないかって思えるほどの喪失感と苦痛を生むでしょうね。
What the fuck? I'm so curious about the character implications of this.
もし魔術回路を奪われれば、それはシローが
My second nerve, the magic circuit, will be taken out. This means removing the part of my nerves damaging the spiritual body's integrity and creating a fatal defect as a magus. The essential parts are written in the blueprint, but what happens if those parts are lost? You can never perfect something that is lacking. My hope of becoming complete will disappear here. Damn, that's fucked up. Once Emiya Shiro loses his foundation, called the Magic Circuit, he will stay incomplete no matter what. I nod to myself. I see. Naruhodo. And it's much better to be able to save Saber. I mean, this is, in a sense, your ultimate choice, and this also makes, assuming that this route ends with Saber and Shiro winning the Holy Grail War, this makes Emiya's wish potentially a lot more... I mean, I'm wondering if his wish is to be, like, the greatest magus in the world, and obviously he's in a scenario where he's not going to be able to do that because he wants to be a superhero. He wants to be the ally of justice, as it were, right? He wants to be a fucking fire sister. And, it's so stupid because the fucking big bros, fucking... The VAs! The fucking Seiyus, they show up in... it's such a mess. I'm not going to get into a huge rant about Fate and Monogatari. Ironically, the funny thing is, too, is that the next video that'll go up after this video should be Monogatari. So, it's even funnier there. And the next video I'll be recording in, like, well, I don't know, in, like, what, it's like, in the next, like, 30 hours or so? I don't know. Anyways.
よし。やろう、遠坂。
Sorry about that little tangent.
早っ。決断が早いのはいいけど、本当にどういうことなのか分かってるの？
Surprisingly, I think he does.
分かってる。遠坂、教えてくれただろ。
分かってるわけないじゃない。
For once, I'm actually with Shiro on this one. Don't underestimate him.
いい？セイバーを救うために、私はシローに魔術師として死ねと言ってるようなものなのよ。なのにどうしてそんなに反論もしないでうなずいて。
Because I love this bitch.
だから反論はないんだって。
Mm-hmm.
遠坂の考えた最上の計画だからうなずくんだ。もっと自分の計画に自信を持てよ、遠坂。そんな風に慌てるとこっちが不安だ。
Well, here's the thing. If our options are die or give up my dream, probably gonna go with give up my dream. Now, I think there are contexts where certain people would rather die than give up their dream. And again, it is situational, but like, I'm a really simple person. I like making YouTube videos. I like chilling. I like eating good food. I want my life to be as simple and boring as possible, and I just want to have fun for the next, let's say, 50, 60 years, and then I'll die or whatever, right? I just want to chill and have fun doing this shit. I don't mind not doing... Occasionally, I'm going to go out and go to some event that interests me or whatever, but generally, yeah, I'll go to the movies. I love food. I just love the simple things in life. And I like to live basically as simple of a life as possible. And that's really it, honestly. And like once in a blue moon, I'll do something really cool, like go to Japan a few years ago or whatever. Right? But like generally, I just want to chill and have an easy life. And if I had to... And... I somewhat have that. I'm kind of working towards that, right? Because the one thing that stands in the way of that is money. But regardless, I'm having a fun time, and I love this channel, and I love doing these videos, and that's a huge part of it. I have so much fun with this. This really is so much fun, whether it's playing these games or reacting or whatever, and you guys make it so much fun. If I had to give all that up to survive, fuck yeah, I'm doing it. But it's really hard, but I think it's a lot easier to accept something awful or something that hurts if your only other option is just get fucked by Berserker Renilli, let's be honest.
それにそうしないとセイバーはバーサーカーと戦えないんだろ
That's the thing, there isn't really a choice. And
そうよ。そうだって言ってるじゃない。
but she thought it was going to be a lot harder to convince him because, and that's reasonable given what she's asking Shiro to sacrifice. Not even the pain, as much as the, like, because the pain, like the physical pain, I'm sure is going to be incredible, but it's more the fact that you're, you know, a Magus commits their whole life to being a Magus, and she's saying, you will never truly be a Magus after this moment.
だろそれに俺たちには犠牲がないわけじゃないあいつが稼いでくれた時間のためにも戦って勝たなきゃいけない
Absolutely. His back told me to go. Oh, that was so cool. God, Archer's such a fucking G. He is really fighting with Rin for my favorite character. It's... Again, if Unlimited Blade Works is going to be focused on the two of them, they're probably just going to run away with being my number 1 and number 2 characters, and we'll see which one falls at number 1. But they've been the best parts of the Fate route, and we've really not had enough Archer in the Fate route, so which is one of the reasons I can't wait for Unlimited Blade Works. And one of the things that sucks is that we will be taking a break before we get to Unlimited Blade Works, but still. And I'm assuming that that's what Unlimited Blade Works is about, because I really doubt it's about Saber, given the name doesn't quite fit her. I didn't like him, but he risked his life to protect Tosaka. Then I can't be chickening out here. Because I just refuse to believe a character that goated dies that easily and we never see him again. It's got to be a thing where the different route will give us the different sauce.
いいわ。始めましょう、シロ。
セイバーもいいか俺の魔術回路を移植するってことなんだが
はい。それがマスターの判断なら。
She's not really in a position to refuse, to be honest. Her voice does not contain affirmation or denial, exactly. Just kind of like, okay, if that's what we're gonna do. But her eyes look as if they're in regret. Yeah, she feels bad that it's come to this. She feels like she's failed if Shiro has to go this far for her. But this is the perfect example of Shiro doing what he has to do. I guess Tosaka is gonna prepare us for the transplant. I don't know how from the first place, so I have to leave it to Tosaka.
まずはセイバーからね。シロは魔術回路をオンにしたまま、できるだけ心を乱さないように待機していて。
Sure. I'm very curious what this is going to be. I close my eyes and turn over the artificial nerve in my body. I can turn the circuit on and off without a problem thanks to Tosaka. That's a recent... Yeah, that's a recent situation too, but... What the fuck? A red flower entangles itself with a white flower. What the fuck? Wait, Tosaka gets on... Oh, it's gonna be like a less sexual version. Okay. Tosaka gets on top of Saber, who cannot move, and casually, brazenly moves her fingers across Saber's slender body.
待てトサカお前セイバーに何をする気だ
Oh, I'm just gonna finger her. Psych! This is the H scene! Gotcha, bitch! No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That would be really funny, though.
何って、セイバーにもリラックスしてもらおうと思って。セイバーが力を抜いてくれないと成功率が下がっちゃうし。
That's a lot funnier, though, after having watched the H scene version.
ああ、そういうことか。悪い、続けてくれ。
It almost feels like this is a reference to the original H scene. Kinda.
どうも。
That little moment there.
それじゃあ服を脱ぎましょうか、セイバー。
What the fuck?
は
They both react.
いちいち驚かないの。 脱ぐって言っても一部だけよ。魔術回路の移植は精神と体の融合よ。できるだけ接触を多くして遮蔽を少なくしなきゃいけないでしょ。
That makes sense. Tosaka is serious and calm. Yeah, just take off like part of your like shirt and like whatever, or you know, like I don't know, do the stomach. I don't know. The only ones flustered are Saber and I.
待ってくださいリン。それでしたら自分ででき。
No, you can't.
腕を上げるのも辛いくせに強がらないで。はあ、それともエミヤくん、マスターの立場としてセーバーを自分で脱がせたいとか。
Yeah, because that's the thing. Regardless of whether we're doing it, we all know that there's definitely master servant dynamics where they fuck. 100%. That's a thing in this universe. Regardless of whether we have H scenes or not. I stop myself before I call her an idiot. With the joke aside, that's something I'm not suited to do. I can't stay composed if I have to do such a thing.
すまない。そっち任せた。
Oh yeah, you're implying that Rin isn't gonna like fucking have some fun with her.
よろしい。そういうわけだから白も脱ぎなさい。は、上着脱ぐだけでいいから。下まで全部脱がすからね。
That's not what you were saying in the other version, bitch. I can't tell if she's serious or joking. When can you ever tell, to be honest? Isn't that why we love her? Anyway, it seems I need to take off as much clothing as I can to come in contact with Saber. Like...
白、お願いです。しばらく背を向けていていただけないでしょうか。
Oh, maybe she's gonna like, Saber's gonna like, maybe they could go back to back, or maybe Saber will like, you know, like Saber's front, Shiro's back, and it's kind of like her titties on his back, even though it's not like Saber really has much titty, to be honest. But, you know, she's got a little bit.
わかった。準備ができたら言ってくれ。
I fucking adore how this is still awkward, though, even in the non-H scene version. I turn around, take my shirt off, and fold it up. I even fold the sleeves so I could put it in a drawer if I wanted to and try to hide my nervousness.
大丈夫？セイバー。はい。だいぶ楽になりましたが。
Well, that was sus. I have to calm down. Oh my god. This literally feels just like the H scene all over again. I try to suppress my fear while acknowledging how hard the transplant of the magic circuit is and how much loss and pain the process involves. Yeah, it's kind of... I would almost... Obviously, maybe not on the same level, of course, but... I mean, in the context of the universe, they're trying to build it up similarly to, like, losing your child. Like, unironically, like, that's kind of the mental strain it's gonna put on you. This is just a passing point. The thing I should be scared of is the fight against Berserker after this. I mean, the way I would see it is, after you do this, I mean, fuck Berserker. I mean, who's, you know... I think doubly so... If we're going this far for Saber, I think given the type of person she is, she's going to make this count. And she's not going to lose to anyone after this. She's going to fuck all their asses. It's going to be delicious.
いいわよ、シロ。
Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's cute. That's very tasteful. That's like tasteful. But there's just, like, the littlest bit of sex appeal there. I mean, that really isn't even much, like... Like, what the fuck are they even gonna do? Or is he gonna, like, put his hand, like, on her, like, below her neck? Like, what the fuck? I don't... I mean... I actually thought she was gonna take off her shirt, and it was gonna be, like, a back shot of her, or, like, a new picture. Saber's skin is like new fallen snow or marble. I do kind of like how they've like sort of repurposed the shots from the H scene. It is kind of very, I almost want to say frugal, but it's very clever, I guess. With the front of her blouse hanging open, Saber is so beautiful it bordered on profane. She really is. Like, I'm an absolute Rin fucking simp. Like, Rin's a goddess, right? But unironically, though, Saber is fucking beautiful, and especially in shots like this. That is actually a really classy shot of Saber, with like the blouse kind of open, not really showing titty, but like, I don't know. That's just like a classy, sexy, beautiful fucking shot. I can vibe with that. I feel like a real life version of this shot could look like really nice, like unironically. I suddenly forget to breathe. I've seen her skin before, but the Saber in bed right now is unlike any Saber I've ever seen. Well, in an alternate reality, you get to see a lot more. It's because of the weird tension. With myself aside, Saber's acting strangely too. I swear to God, she's in heat, bro. Before, she was acting normally even when I saw her skin.
シロ、こっち。ここに上がってセイバーに覆いかぶさって。
Lovely! It feels like I'm moving a borrowed body. I'm walking to the bed, but stepping on the rubble doesn't feel realistic.
セイバー、同調までは私がやるわ。
Until you two... I'll take it until you two sympathize. Interesting wordage?
それからあとはあなたにお願いするけど、持っていきすぎないように注意して。少なければ少ないほど、シローの負担は減るから。
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Sympathize, huh?
わかりました。お願いします。リン。
Here we go. Their conversation doesn't come into my head. I have my hands full on steadying my breath. We get even closer. We're so close that her skin is almost touching. I feel her weak breath. I swear to God, I feel like I'm reading the H scene again. I'm just waiting for, like, it to get fucking lewd. And I know it's not, but, like... It's, like, weirdly similar, which I kind of like, but it's, like, weird. I support myself with my arms, and my body is too close to her.
変革準備。
Here we go.
実質。ボーガ、接続開始。
Her spell starts. I shake off useless thoughts and clear my mind so I can sympathize with Saber. I don't think we've ever explained sympathizing. I mean, obviously, I know what the word sympathize means, but obviously it has a magical context in this case. I mean, I could context clues it, but still.
小さく、小さく、小さく、小さく。円環航路開始。
The only thing I could see is Saber's face. She's already in meditation. I can't keep my eyes open forever. I close my eyes reluctantly. Are we gonna see the sword again?
大きく、大きく、大きく。
Interesting.
愛の行動、連続閉鎖。
My senses are becoming vague. The sense of floating that I feel every night when I constructed the magic circuit. The feeling of my mind escaping my body and being flung away. But it goes in the opposite direction this time. It usually goes out my back, but my mind is escaping out of my chest right now. Interesting. We've never actually seen this visual before. I mean, it's just light, but it's still interesting. The 5 senses are functions of the body. My sense of hearing should go away since I'm out of my body, but my ears are hearing Saber's breathing sharper than before because they're sympathizing and they're... I want to say synchronizing, like I want to go Evangelion, like it feels like a synchronization thing. It's actually, like, hypothetically, the concept is kind of similar too, to a degree, but, you know, again, if you know what I'm talking about, sort of. I mean, it's different, but Evangelion's a thing. Just leave it at that. Go watch it. Anyone watching this Let's Play has definitely watched it. But anyways, the sound of the rapidly beating heart. The sound of blood flowing through the veins. I slip out of the shell called Emiyashiro and slide into her body. So in other words, it's like it's ego sex. Instead of physical sex, we're having like ego sex and we're becoming one in a more metaphysical sense. So this is like a metaphor for orgasm. I'm just kidding. My mind sinks even deeper. I converge, swirl, shrink, and become a strong crystal to enter her. Okay, that sounds sus. What the fuck? The beat, warmth, breath. I touch her mind, not her body. Okay, what?
Shiro.
A voice like a bell. I answer the voice. My mind completely breaks away from my body. Whoa. It's like the beginning of a fucking intro of a fucking, like, a movie. I forget which one. Which, like, company. My senses completely transform. I have no arms, legs, or self. I run naked. It feels like I'm running back in time. It rather feels like I'm being left behind. This feels like something out of... Honestly, and one day I'll get to play the VN, this just honestly feels like I've been transported into Steins Gate all of a sudden. Well, that was a cool visual. It accelerates. Body, personality, order, law. I become a dart and penetrate through numerous barriers between boundaries of individual. Sparks fly from the circuit. The sensation of reaching the speed of light freezes me. Oh, wow, actual shot of naked Shiro. Oh, you can see the circuits, and it's like a weird, like, universal magic, like, principle thing going on here. It's as if passing by human life in a second. Oh, yeah, you actually could see him right there. This feels super Steins Gate-y. Very cool. I love how they all are circuits, of course, and you got the spell circles as well. The concentrated life is heavy and therefore cruel. No matter how the life is, it passes by in an instant. It's unbearable to stare at it direct on. Therefore, my emotion is anesthetized. Wait, is that actually... No, that's not how you pronounce that, though. But anesthesia, it's like anesthetized. That word, and freezes. This is what it's like to go on a journey with only the mind. This is very cool. I realize what an excellent insurance the weight called the body was. Visualization of foundation of magic. Digitalization of human. Several hundred organs are connected using several billion connections. The infinite complex pattern is a highway made of simple repetitions. The infinite complex pattern. I mean, this is like a metaphor for magic and magi in general in this universe, I suppose, when you consider their lives and what they do. And obviously, I mean, it's a metaphor for humanity as a whole, and even broader than that, on an even more macro level, it's a metaphor for life in the universe, the distant future that eventually is. It's like a vehicle going through an illuminated city without any life. Here, the present time passes by at light speed. Whoa, that's cool. Yo! Jesus Christ, these are some sick visuals. It's interesting how they're representing, like I said, eternity in an instant. So we're representing, again, it's a quote. I'm trying to remember the exact quote from Steins Gate, again, referring to the anime, which I've reacted to. You can check it out on my channel, on my playlist. I haven't played the game yet, but Kurisu refers to, I'm not going to get into spoilers for Steins Gate, but if you haven't played it or watched it, you should do one or the other. Probably both, because it's goated as fuck. At least the anime is, and I'm sure the game is too. But the idea of eternity stretching out When time and space switch places, eternity, the entirety of existence can stretch out in less than a second because the concepts have changed. And right, the entirety of eternity is, if you take away the concept of time, there's no difference between eternity and a millisecond, right? So one could find themselves at the edge in a hypothetical where they can travel through time in a different manner, or they can the concepts of space and time switch, or any other mumbo jumbo bullshit theoretical science, right? And this is kind of playing off of that a little bit, but in like a weird metaphysical magic bullshit kind of way, which is pretty easy to accept because it's magic, right? But I love how we're portraying the universe and eternity itself all back to circuits, and it creates this kind of overlapping theme of circuitry, right? And the magic circuit and the importance of the magic circuit. And what we're seeing here is the magic circuit is at its core not only tapping into the universal like being, the universal existence, but also that itself being a representation of the universe as a whole. It's really, I'm explaining this horribly, probably. I would have to listen back, but it's probably a terrible explanation because, again, I don't have a script. This is all just off the cuff as it's happening. This is really fucking cool is what I'm trying to say. I'm doing a really terrible job of explaining why it's cool, but the point is it's really fucking cool. Eternity in an instant, the line says it all. I passed through the final boundary, and again, boundary is another key word in this series. Beyond this is inside her. Okay, that got weird. I passed through the final boundary. Beyond this is inside her. Am I not playing the H scene? I will see the magic circuit owned by the existence called Arturia. Yeah, it's a black hole. Whoa. Interesting. Blank, comma, blank. This is really cool, actually, though. Creepy. Oops. Oh. I was playing with my pen because I was talking a lot. The change is extreme. The fast world filled with light is cut off in an instant. It's dark and heavy here. Maybe representation of the life she's lived, or I suppose the lives she's lived, because obviously there was Arturia, but clearly this is not her first time as Saber either, so she's had some bonus time as well. Pressure compresses my outline. The air is too dense, and it feels as if I'm underwater. My body is slowly sinking, accompanied by pain as if squashed by a strong force. The path is deep, and I can't see the bottom. It feels like I'm falling through massive darkness into an even denser darkness. The fact that I instantly went past thousands of miles feels like a lie. Now I'm suffering for an eternity to go a mile. It's swapped. It's flipped, right? The concept. I feel no hope nor light ahead. Is this really Saber's magic circuit? Interesting. So Shiro's magic circuit was like a representation of like infinite hope. And obviously because Saber's super powerful and like crazy and stuff, I don't think it's a representation of potential. I think it's a representation of hope in the case of Shiro, and maybe naive hope, and potentially this is a representation of the cursed word Zetsubo, the fucking despair, deep within Saber's being, probably due to regrets about how her life ended, potentially, but also regrets to the previous Holy Grail War, I'm sure, is probably the bigger part. Because she has not opened up at all about that experience, and we don't even know who her master was. It seems like it was Rin's father, but I'm still not entirely sure it wasn't. There's a lot of signs pointing towards our boy Kiritsugu, And we, at the very least, we know Kiritsugu and Rin's father were both two of the Magi in the Holy Grail War, but who knows? It's greatly different from mine. And we also know that Kiritsugu survived, and Rin's father obviously didn't. They say the shape of magic circuit and the number of paths are different for each person, but this is different. It's not about scale or ability. It seems Saber's magic circuit is fundamentally different from that of a Magus. Well, she, to be fair, isn't. Whoa. Oh, that's cool. The path rumbles. Each time, my small self is almost crushed. I don't know what kind of magic circuit Saber has, but I know that the sympathizing spell is working. Yeah, this feels like it's working. This isn't a failure. This place is dark and heavy, unlike Saber, but this isn't an impure place. It's so full of life. The flowing air is blood and also a swirl of magical energy. I realize that I've forgotten to breathe. It may be because there's no need to. The sinking is painful, but not life-threatening. I look up at the darkness I fell through, and it feels like it's a distance I can't go back. First of all, I can't see anywhere in this darkness. Even a slow fall seems infinite. The weight of the air changes. The speed of descent decreases even more. I assume it's supposed to be the speed of descent decreases even more. I narrow my eyes at the brightness of the darkness. That's a very ironic choice of words. Oh, that's really cool. I'm trying to see if we can make out any patterns out of this, but I think any patterns here is probably just a huge stretch, so I'm not going to bother. There is an end to this infinite path. Again, he keeps contradicting himself. The brightness of the darkness, the end to the infinite path. I see what they're doing here. I feel Saber's warmth and breath. That's the final destination. I reach the source of Saber's magic circuit. The mental world at her scent. Are we gonna find something? But the scenery is beyond my understanding. The core of a star. The embodiment of fire that breathes deep underground is here. Holy shit! I want to see that again. Not a sound. The red surface of the lake is swirling, but stays silent without splashing around. This is metal as fuck. Jesus Christ. A huge shadow is in the bottom of the lake. Is that supposed to be a fucking dragon? We're getting little flashes of it, so it's hard to tell. The eye of fire perceives the small intruder. Yeah, this is like a weird dragon thing, right? A foreign body is still a foreign body, even if its master allowed it inside. In this core. Oh, this is so sick. What the fuck? My mind is only a piece of trash that disturbs its function, or a piece of wood to light the fire. I swallow my breath that I do not need. I stare at the full scenery. This is Saber's magic circuit. Her heart that exceeds humans and is fundamentally different from ours, which is imagined from lines and circuits. This place is a reactor core. If a Magus's body is a machine which creates magical energy, this place is a factory which creates magical energy. That's a cool analogy. I like that. But the core isn't active. The starting key to make the core turn, the source of energy to provide the first turn, is not there. There is such a great amount of magical energy in an enormous magical core, but there isn't enough magical energy to activate the core, and that's what essentially Shiro's magic is used for. It's a really cool way to describe the relationship between master and servant, though, because obviously in a regular dynamic like Rin and Archer's, that's taken care of. It rises to the surface. The stalled sea of gasoline. No matter how much undiluted magical energy there is, it's meaningless without a fire to burn it. Doesn't matter how small the fire is, this core will resume activity once the path to send magical energy is connected. For that, a thing transcending human knowledge awakens. The many paths running across the lake swirl up. The red atmosphere shoots up and becomes pillars. Or is this how it is inside a thundercloud? Yeah, it looked like a fucking dragon to me. Jesus Christ! The raging sound of the waves is so huge that I already cannot perceive them with my hearing. It actually kind of almost looks like a... not a griffin, but almost like a dinosaur bird kind of thing. I mean, I think it is supposed to be a dragon, but it kind of... I'm not even entirely sure, actually. But given the scenery, it's gotta be. Just like how something so huge cannot be seen, its roar is just like silence. Jesus Christ, that thing's huge. The thing appearing from within the blazing core is an embodiment of all the threats to mankind. Oh my god, the music. Yo! Holy shit! What the fuck? I mean, that might be a dragon, but that is not like any dragon I've ever seen in fiction. Holy fuck, that thing looks wild. It's very bird-like. I mean, I know that those are probably scales? What the that is a crazy looking beast. It has been said the king is a red dragon symbolizing Britain. Okay. Yeah, that is true. The child of the sacred star carrying phantasmal blood in a human body. That actually is relevant to the Welsh flag. I'm sure you're probably familiar. It's one of the most famous flags in, it's one of the most famous flags probably in the world, just because it's probably the coolest one because of the red dragon. Dragon. The symbol, fear, and king of the numerous phantasmal beasts. Appearing sometimes as evil and sometimes as godlike, the highest of all beings. Yes, the dragon is, I hate to really quickly take us out of the situation, but if you... Riding A+, ability to ride things, can ride even demonic and holy creatures if they are beasts. This, however, does not include dragons, because her riding is A+, you would have to be S tier, right? So, that's how, like, crazy dragons are. That is what is in Saber's unconsciousness. It is an absurd, true nature that is appropriate for the best servant. The cauldron is opened. Yeah, that looks more like a dragon when we see the eyes. The too brutal thing fills my vision. Resistance is meaningless. A mere human cannot defend against it. A mere human's intelligence cannot think of running away. It must have been that hungry. With bloodshot eyes, it bites down on food that is small as dust and... Lovely! Eradicates all words. That is wild. Come to think of it, why isn't food on the table alive? It doesn't even need to be said. It cannot bear it if it's alive. We know that food is better fresh, but it's still dead because it's too cruel to keep it alive. In short, despite appearances, edible meat preserves the dignity of life. Wow, that's interesting commentary. Screams and rage boil up. I forget who I am and roar like a beast. I appeal my pain. Hatred builds up. I resist with bare sensation. As I'm bitten on, I beg for mercy like a sinner being crucified. Oh, that's a cool visual. My senses vanish. I drop all goals and meanings. Keeping sanity here is as distant as the time of creation. excessively powerful pain and pressure. And the instant I can only perceive this creature as a monster, there's your god. Yep. I recall her figure, hanging her head, believing that I can withstand this hell. I recall the meaning of this pain. Exhilarate the significance of this anguish. I fully realize why I came to this place. I breathe out and stop resisting. The one I should fight against is not the dragon's fangs, but the pain within me. I didn't come here to get away from the pain. I'm here to save her from pain and answer the trust she kept many times. Yep. Thus, as I cannot fight, I'm here to give her the best answer I can give. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. There's no pain I can describe anymore. And this is the freaking theme that plays in the this is the fucking, yeah, this is the fucking title screen song. I'm not reaching out to my destroyed senses. I stay quiet as if I'm asleep and sharpen my senses. Eternity is an instant here. If that is the case, I can stay conscious if I can withstand the pain even for an instant. Alright, then I have no fear. I shall dedicate this pain to you, the one who is fighting. And that activated it. That's the moment. Oh, that's so cool. And they're even playing, the fact that they're playing the title music really makes this more epic, even though the theme isn't like anything crazy. Pain disappears in an instant because it's the representation of the Fate route. I'm assuming there'll be a different title theme when I do Unlimited Blade Works in Heavensfield. Pain disappears in an instant. The red dragon is gone and my consciousness rises. Did it grow light because I lost some of it? As if returning to the surface, I get away from the core against my will. Wait. I have to check something before that. Oh. How warm. The core is burning golden with a low sound. The delicate magic circuit is glowing with all the colors of the rainbow, restarting the circulation. The fire has been lit. Even though I may be an amateur magus, I was able to fulfill my role as her master. I surrender my body to the soaring wind. Yeah! Yo! That's a new shot! I catch a glimpse of a distant memory. A figure holding a sword and a figure dancing in the field. Which did I find familiar? Both. Fuck. Holy fuck, that was crazy. Well, shoutouts to fucking Nazu. I assume Nazu wrote that along with the rest, but shoutouts to... Holy shit, that was a fucking scene and a half. Wow. I mean, I guess when you're just making one little scene to kind of rework to make your game a little cooler instead of fucking, I guess you kind of go all out. That was crazy. That was existential. That was fucking badass. That was weird. Honestly, I feel like that was a great representation of the point of what this game, or at least what the Fate route has been all about. Like, that was one of the best scenes of the game. That's actually really funny. I feel the sun on my eyelids and open my eyes slowly. I check my body with my dizzy mind. My limbs are still there. I don't feel any wound on my body. Maybe the pain went away when I endured it. My mental wound that could have been a trauma is healed as well.
Shiro.
I hear a weak voice from under me. The feeling of her soft skin instantly makes me realize who she is and what we're doing. Saber is lying on the bed with an untidy blouse, and Tosaka is curled up and asleep. Tosaka's alright, but Saber has been under me dressed like this, and you probably got a boner.
Ohayo, Saber.
Ohayo, Saber. Ignore my penis.
はい。おはようございます、シロ。
An awkward greeting. Saber slowly gets up and fixes her blouse. Crap, we're conscious of each other and can't look at each other in the eyes.
もう起きられるようになったんだ。
はい。
Yep.
魔力の供給を受けられるようになりましたので。
Yeah, we're all good now, basically. Seems Saber's back to normal. The frailness when I carried her here is gone now.
そうか。よかった。成功したんだ。魔術回廊の移植は。
はい。ですから服を着ていただけません
か？
その格好のままだと私もなぜか話しづらい。
That's funny. I looked down at myself. I mean, it's just a shirt, but
そうだよな。そうだった。
I mean, he looked pretty, you know, in pretty good condition, you know what I'm saying? I quickly reach out for my extremely folded up clothes. Tosaka folded up my clothes. No, I'm the one who did it. Damn, yeah, you kind of had like a crazy experience, like a literal out-of-body experience, so it makes sense that you're like forgetting shit now. Why did I fold it up this much? I vividly recall the ritual last night. I sympathized with Saber and the transplant in my magic circuit deep inside her. Don't say it like that. It looks like Saber's back to normal, but what about me? Tosaka said that my body and mind would not be able to handle losing the magic circuit, but there's no big damage, nor do I feel any big sense of loss. I'm a bit scared, but I checked my magic circuit. I dread looking at how much of it is missing, but the fight against Berserker is waiting. I have to know the condition I'm in. Yes. Oh wait, no. It is there. Weird. The magic circuit is a bit dull, but I don't see any damage. So, here's the weird thing, right? And this hasn't come up yet, and I don't know if this is going to come up in the Fate route, or in Unlimited Blade Works, or Heaven's Feel, or when, but we know that there's something fucked up with Shiro's magic, and Rin found out and told Saber, but it was like vague, and we didn't listen to the whole conversation because we're a fucking idiot, and we should be eavesdropping more, especially on those two girls. And I'm wondering if they're related. I assume that's somehow related. Whatever the deal is with that is related to this. It was bitten to pieces, but my magic circuit is still there. I guess there's nothing wrong with it for me to use the strengthening spell.
そうか。これって。
Yeah, he was expecting it to be a lot worse. Magic circuits I rarely used probably were taken away. I only activate 1 to 4 circuits for strengthening. I can't use any large-scale spells, so I've never fully activated all my circuits. Seems the magic circuits transplanted into Saber were those circuits I rarely use. That makes sense.
シロ。
I can still use the strengthening spell just fine. But my body's fatigue and dullness as if I'm in water is because my full ability has degenerated. In its place, I feel that I'm connected deep down to something important. I can't clearly tell where, but there's a weak link between Saber and I. I've obtained something big and warm in place of my lost circuits. Aw, that's really cute.
申し訳ありません、シロ。
I hear Saber's apologetic voice from behind me. Never apologize for this. That's what he's gonna say.
シロの回路を得る際に必要最小限にとどめるよう努力はしました。ですが、その最低限の量ですら人から得るには多すぎた。もしやシロに消せない傷跡を残してしまったかと思うと、謝罪の言葉も見当たりません。
He's surprisingly fine, actually, after that initial experience.
これは私の不覚です。私が書くも力足らずでなければ、シロには。
If there was ever a moment to say shut the fuck up, bitch, this would be the moment.
そんなことはない。セイバーは謝らなくていいんだ。そもそもの原因は、俺が魔力の供給をできないでいて、セイバーに迷惑をかけていたからだろ。でも、それもこれで解決した。これからは ちゃんと魔力の供給ができる。ああ、これで本当に胸を張ってセイバーのマスターだって口にできる。
Hell yeah.
ですがシロ、
俺の魔術回路のことは気にしなくていいよ。どうせ使わないものみたいだし、むしろない方がすっきりする。
I mean, that is true. Like, he barely has any use for it. Saber doesn't look happy. Crap, I don't know what to say now. Saber's healed, and I survived in spite of losing my magic circuit. Saber's magic circuit, and the dream of light and wind, and Saber's youthful days, and on top of that, we spent the night dressed like that? Calm down, calm down. This is the all-ages version. That was a ritual for us to survive. I have to calm down. I may make a mistake in the oncoming fight like this. Oh, is Rin getting up? Her breath pauses and she lets out a voice. It seems Tosaka woke up.
おはようございます、リン。
よう、トサカ。おはよう。
Her hair moves and she raises her head. Tosaka's not a morning person, so she's like a different person right now.
サンキュー、トサカ。ちゃんと成功したぞ。
Yeah, it went well.
はい。私の魔力の補充はできました。ですがその代わりシローに。
いや、なくなったのは3割ぐらいだと思うから大丈夫。これくらいならなんとか。
3割ですか。なんとか最初にとどめたというのに、それでも3割とは。我がことながら、なんと強欲な。
強欲か。そうだな。腹ペコだったにしても、もう少し行儀よくしてほしかったな。
Damn, got her. Got her! The awkward moment, the awkward mood disappears as Tosaka joined in. Now we're really back to normal. Yes, the three of us against the world because Archer's just Sag.
そう、じゃあ、いいわね。
Yeah, maybe we could, you know, maybe you could magic up some fucking coffee because you need to wake up first. Tosaka yawns once and stands up. The battle is near. Berserker and Iliasville are waiting on the other side of the silent forest. We'll lose many significant things we exchanged last night unless we break through that hurricane of death. The connection with Saber created in my heart. To protect it, we have to defeat the strongest enemy. Interlude? Yeah, there it is! Yep, and the battle between the two ends. Okay, so... Now, if I... Yep, so I can turn this back on. So that was the new scene. And that was fucking fantastic. Holy fuck. That was goated. That was such a great scene. So, I definitely think the best experience is seeing both. I definitely think the Rialto Nua scene is way better, right? Like if I had to pick one, the Rialto Nua scene was actually one of the best scenes of the entire game. That was phenomenal. But the sex scene was funny as fuck. I don't care what anyone says. That was hilarious, especially Rin's everything. But the Rialto Nua, the new version of the scene, well, I assume is kind of the more accepted canonical version of what happened, was phenomenal. I think it's really weird when you think about it because, and maybe it just shows, I don't know how much time passed between when this was written, this game, and that scene, but, and maybe it just shows like just, you know, the improvements as a writer, but I feel like the ironic thing about it is that in the context of the way the game exists, I feel like the second version, the one we just watched, the one we just read, was a natural conclusion in the game based on what we've seen. Whereas the sex scene felt really forced and kind of out of nowhere. It's just the timing of it felt so off, right? Because it was after Archer's death and everything there. The timing of it, I think, not even the scene itself. I feel like if this situation happened in a more semi-casual context where they were like at Shiro's house and Rin's like, I have a way to fix this, fuck her, and it was like a situation where they were that occurred. If it wasn't the context, like even though I understand the desperate nature of it, this feels more in line with the context, like the context of the desperation and I didn't want to do this until now and stuff. Though it's weird how this feels like it fits more into the situation. I'm not even talking about like which one feels more fade or makes more sense. Just purely on the scenario that was set up in the first place. So that it's really interesting, to be honest, but that was fantastic. That was awesome. That was just the dragon, the red dragon symbolizing Britain. That is Saber's representation of her magic circuit, and there was just so many great moments. I think Shiro, in that profound state, had an awesome moment. There's just so much there. It was fantastic. And now we're back to where we've been before. This was, of course, the Archer, or, the post-Archer death, Berserker and Ilya scene. We're going to run through this really quick. But if you, for whatever reason, need a refresher from last episode, you can pause it. I'm just kind of reading this really quickly in my head while I'm going through, just to remember everything. I mean, we'll find out of it one day. I mean, again, defeated is kind of a bit of a stretch, but... I bet it does, girl. Yeah. I don't even have the slightest clue who Archer could be, by the way. I don't think there's a single thing that we know about him that even remotely leads me to it. Whereas with Saber, if I was really considering men, like legendary male figures, then like I feel like I could have maybe come to the conclusion that Saber was King Arthur a little quicker. But the problem is, Archer, I have no fucking clue. Not the slightest clue. And, like, the way they built it up, I feel like he's got to be a similarly level of known servant. A similar level of known legend to, King Arthur. And I don't know who in the world that could possibly be that would make any sense for him. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the Berserker version of Heracles, so we don't get, like, the full Heracles being Heracles kind of shit. Yep. Mm-hmm. You're gonna regret that, you stupid little lolly bitch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
そうでしょ。誰一人として私の森からは逃がさないわ。うん。リンとセーバーはバーサーカーにあげるね。殺すなりもてあそぶなり好きにしていいわ。
Yeah, that's such a lovely thing that you did say.
Sa, 狩りを始めましょう。バーサーカー。だけど。
Yeah, we know. Whatever. Get fucked, bitch. Alright. Now we should be back to where we left off last time. So. I don't know why, but I was forced to leave the ruin. It's fine that I shared my magical energy with Saber. But Osaka pushed me out saying that girls have adjustments afterward, changing and all that. I don't know. Yeah, we're... Kek W. I grumble, leaning against the wall. It sounds like an excuse because it is. I look up at the sky. Is it almost dawn? The sky in the east is getting redder, and the forest is slowly getting lighter. The forest is calm and quiet. When it's this quiet, I can't believe we are being pursued or that we were doing something like that until a moment ago. Yeah, like that. Remembering, I frantically shake off my lust. Yeah, I'm curious how this dialogue changes. I have to forget about it for now. I won't survive if I'm submerged in thoughts of her sensations. And more than anything, it's impolite to Saber. After all, I made love to Saber to save her. Oh, it's so much funnier. So I shouldn't have any other emotion for Saber. No matter how soft Saber is and how good it felt, that was... I'm a big liar. I can't deceive myself about it with excuses like that. I can't forget Saber's sensations. Now, I'm curious, right? I'm just so curious. So, right. Load. Mm-hmm. Right. I'm just curious. Config. Right. I'm just curious now. Remembering, I frantically shake out my worldly desires. I have to forget about it for now. I won't survive if I'm submerged in memories of Saber, and more than anything, it's impolite to Saber. After all, I made contact with Saber to save her, so I shouldn't have any other emotion for Saber. I'm a big liar. I can't deceive myself about it with excuses like that. I can't forget the spectacle I saw inside Saber. But I have to forget about it for now. Jeez, this is no time to worry about such things. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny, honestly. That there's just that little variation right now. What we should be worrying about right now is how to take on Berserker. That's so funny.
自分にできることをやらないと。あいつだって最後にそう言ってたじゃないか。
He did say that. I remember Archer's back. I could never like him, but all of his words have stuck in my head. That's a cool, shot. I stare at a tree branch. There are only a few things I can do. Even if it isn't much right now, I can only do them to the best of my abilities. I pluck a handy branch. And I also find a few more branches that are straight.
Shiro! 終わったから入ってきて!
I hear Tosaka's voice. I return to the ruin carrying the branches I found. Well, the only other problem is whether I'm able to face Saber like I did before after something like that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
こちらです、シロ。リンから話があるそうです。
Yeah. I guess such worries were only on my part. Saber's acting resolutely as always. She must have completely accepted the incident, unlike me.
ああ、今行く。
Like, that dialogue could go either way, be in either one. Damn, I won't lose. It's stupid to be the only one blushing, so I'll try my best to act calm.
来たわね。それじゃあ作戦会議を始めるけど、会議って言っても口論し合う暇はないわ。
Alright, let's hear it.
バーサーカーを倒す方法も限られているし、とりあえず私の話を聞いてもらえる？
Let's hear it. Saber and I nod.
作戦としては単純よ。まともな方法じゃバーサーカーとは勝負にならない。勝つためには奇襲。仕掛けたのなら反撃させずに一撃で首を落とすのが絶対条件だと思う。
This is actually the perfect time to tell you something that you are not aware of, Rin.
同感です。バーサーカーと打ち合ったところで、あれには致命傷を与えられません。倒すのならば、打ち合いの外から消すべきでしょう。
Yep.
打ち合いの外からって、バーサーカーが俺たちに気づく前に先回りして襲うってことか。
Or at least Saber would.
そりゃ、あいつと正面から戦うのは無謀だけど、そっちの方はもっと無謀だ。あいつが奇襲なんてさせる玉か？
ええ、バーサーカーに気づかれずに近寄るなんて都合のいい作戦はやらないわよ。あっちにはイリアスフィールがいるんだもの。少なくともセイバーとシローの気配は簡単に感知されるわ。私は気配を隠せるから大丈夫だけど。
I don't know how it works, but Ilya can feel Saber in my presence, huh? Tosaka is the only one who can hide, then.
まさか奇襲をするのは遠坂だって言うんじゃないだろうな。
当然でしょ。一番に狙われてるのはシローなんだし、この中で一番動きやすいのは私だもの。
This sounds like a
隙をついて
terrible
後ろからバッ
idea.
サリやるのは任せなさい。
後ろからバッサリってバーサーカーがそんな甘いわけないだろう。
Excalibur might be able to get him pretty fucking off guard and focused on nothing but Saber.
そりゃそうよ。だからセイバーに隙を作ってもらうの。
The ultimate opening.
セイバー、体はどのくらい回復した？通常戦闘ならば問題はありません。ですが、宝具の使用は避けるべきです。
That's unfortunate.
今の魔力では、おそらく使った瞬間に体を維持できなくなる。たとえ使ったとしても純度は落ちていますから、バーサーカーを倒せるとは思えません。ええ、それで十分よ。セイバーにはバーサーカーと打ち合ってもらうわ。もちろん、シロも一緒。
Well, that's kind of cute.
で、私は隠れて様子を見る。イリアスフィールから見れば私はおまけみたいなものだし、いなければ2人を見捨てて逃げた とか思うんじゃないかしら。
Yeah, that makes sense, honestly.
はあ、それはまあ可能性はなくはありませんが。
I still think how you plan to do a fatal blow to berserkers seems very optimistic, Rin.
可能性が低いならあげて。シロはイリアスフィールと仲がいいみたいだし、うまく話せば騙せるんじゃない？
Dosaka looks at me meaningfully. I guess that's one way to put it.
反論はあるけど引き受けた。
Yeah, you don't really have a choice at this point. You gotta do whatever you can, Shiro.
遠坂は逃げたって言えばイリアはまず信じるよ。あの子は人の言葉を疑わないと思う。
だとしても問題はあります。
Yeah?
私がバーサーカーと対峙するのはいい。ですが、シローに同じことはさせられません。
I'm not sure how many...
シローではバーサーカーの一撃に耐えられない。
I'm not sure how much you can withstand Berserker's attacks, but in that state, and I mean, if Archer can, I suppose you and Archer are probably very close in standing, because Archer's clearly a beast.
誰もシローに殴り合えなんて言ってないわ。シローはセイバーから離れて後方支援。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを押し切るのは難しいから、危なくなったら助けてあげて。
I mean, I guess we'll see what that could even be.
バカな。シローはリンのように魔術に長けてはいない。援護といっても何を。それはシローが考えて。
Damn.
もっともバーサーカー相手だとマスターが介入する余裕なんてないわ。シローだけじゃなくて私だって手を出せばセイバーの足を引っ
Which
張るもの。
again goes to what the fuck are you planning to do? I mean, literally the only way you could quote unquote that I could think of that you could maybe surprise Berserker is you just slit Ilya's throat out of fucking nowhere.
それでも一人だって遊ばせる余裕はないの。
Fair enough.
シローが殺されればセイバーもおしまいっていうのは分かってるけど、ここはそうしてもらうわ。
Yeah,
初めから賭け事みたいな戦いなんだから。
we're all in regardless, so why not?
それはそうですが。
Yeah, Saber can't really argue that. Especially at this point. Saber grows silent with a troubled face. As Tosaka is silent too, she must know she's saying something unreasonable. The two's concern is only natural. That night I met Saber. When we were attacked by Berserker, I could only use my body to defend her. There's a high probability that would happen again. So I should stay away from the battlefield, but I would have no intention of doing that even if she didn't tell me to be there.
分かってる。遠くからの援護は何とかしよ
Basically him saying, I'll figure it out. Whoa, were my words that surprising?
う。離れたところからセイバーを援護すればいいんだろ。
Yeah, it's like they're surprised that he accepted that easily.
それなら何とかなると思う。
Saying that, I hold up the branch I just collected. Length is perfect. The flexibility is good as well. This is the first time I've done this kind of strengthening, but I don't think there's any flaw in the principle. The point is, I just need to keep reinforcing it until it becomes a real one. And for this, I also have a reference since he had one too. And on top of that, magical energy has been flowing in my body for a while now. I just have to repeat the usual process now. So you like turn it into a sword? I analyze the basic structure and modify it. I analyze the composition materials and reinforce them. That's not enough if the original is a branch and the finished project is his bow. Oh! I have to imagine it from the concept of creation. That makes sense because we know that he used to go to the archery club. I have to imagine it from the concept of creation. If I'm to get it close enough to the real one, I have to formulate every hypothesis, at least in my head. I open my eyes. The branch is shaped right, but,
うわ、似ても似つかねえ。
it's ugly and crooked. But I know it will work as a bow. I just have to make the arrows in the same way.
シロ、今の。
Mm-hmm. Yep. He figured that out really quickly!
ああ、シンジとの一件でなんとなくコツが分かった。遠坂も言ってただろ、力みすぎるなって。
そう。まあ、手段ができたのはいいことだし、今はいいわ。
Yeah, and Shiro's actually good with a bow. I mean, I assume, based on everything we know the context we've had.
話を戻すけど、
Which is very interesting given that, like, Archer and Shiro kind of hate each other.
とにかく二人にはバーサーカーと戦ってもらう。私はあらかじめ木に登って上から様子を観察してるから。
I can picture this anime fight so easily just from that description.
で、セイバーがなんとかバーサーカーに隙を作ったら、死角である頭上からとっておきの宝石を使い切ってバーサーカーを串刺しにする。
I really don't know if that's gonna work.
作戦としてはそれだけの単純なものだけど。
I don't like this plan. Osaka's expression asks for questions.
宝石というのは輪の魔術ですか？だとしても生半可な魔術ではバーサーカーの体には届きません。
わかってる。要するに A 判定の攻撃でないとダメなんでしょ？
Saying that, Tosaka takes a jewel out of her pocket.
その宝石は？
私が物心ついた時からために貯めた貯金みたいなものよ。これ一つで A 判定の大魔術を即座に発生させられる。10個は。
Yep.
そうか。あの時の魔術ならば確かにバーサーカーは防げない。
Okay, so they are that powerful then.
彼には私のような対魔力はありません。魔術であってもそれが A 判定ならば問題なく貫通する。
そういうことよ。本当は小出ししていこうと思ったけど、悠長なことは言ってられないわ。
I might just burn them all, honestly. I wouldn't fuck around with this guy. He's the fucking ultimate motherfucker. Honestly, if we beat Berserker, I think we might be fine, honestly. I mean, if Saber's okay and is, if anything, just gonna gradually get better over time, I think Saber should probably be able to get us through this war. I mean, I feel like we've taken out... I mean, Berserker, I feel like, is the biggest problem. Archer's a potential problem, but he's gone in this timeline. We've also taken care of Ryder. I mean, all that's left is Assassin, who... Well, you know, Assassin could certainly be a problem, and then, Caster and Lancer, and, like, all of them are problems, but, I don't know, I feel like Berserker is the problem, and certainly the one that lends itself, I guess, the most to this strategy. But...
おい、なんか半端にせこくないか？
同感です。私が言えることではありませんが、せめて半分使い切るぐらいの気前の良さが必要だと思うのですが。
Get fucked, bitch. Also, this is a new theme, I think.
何よ、そんなの人の勝手でしょ？
I mean, we're all gonna die if it doesn't work.
あなたたちね、私がどれほど苦労してここまで貯めたって思ってるのよ。
Saber and I protest silently. Tosaka's life depends on this as well, so it won't be funny if she gets stingy and we end up failing because of that.
分かったわよ。半分使えばいいんでしょ？使えば。
I mean, Rin is greedy by nature, so that's why.
何よ、言ってみただけじゃない。私だってそれくらい分かってるんだから。とにかく作戦はそれだけよ。
Yeah, sure.
あとは私が隠れられて、シローがセイバーの援護をしやすい場所を探さなくちゃ。イリアスフィールが来る前にいい場所を見つけましょう。
Sounds like a plan. I want to get to the fight and actually get through the fight in this episode, hopefully. And we're probably a little over an hour and a half, I think, through this episode. So we're probably about halfway through this episode, hopefully. Yeah, we can't stay in this ruin now. As Tosaka says, all that's left is to find a spot to wait for Bazaka. But before that... Oh! Oh, I hate this. I actually hate this. What the fuck is this choice? Fuck you, game. I mean, I want to say I'm worried about Tosaka, obviously. But I think I should say I'm worried about Saber. Fuck, I actually hate this choice. What the fuck? Ow, I actually really hate this choice. I'm honestly more worried about Tosaka, though. I don't want to think so, but... Tosaka won't be stingy using her jewels, will she?
ちょい待ち。繰り返すけど、本当に出し惜しみはなしだぞ、登坂。そりゃ、宝石は高価なものだけど、お前の命には変えられないんだから。
Yeah, it's probably a good idea to verify.
うちの財政を知らないからそんな無責任なことが言えるのよ。シロだってこれ一つがどのくらいするか知ったら腰が抜けるに決まってるんだから。
Oh, I bet.
金の話で腰なんか抜けるか。
They might be worth your legs.
いいぜ。そこまで言うんなら責任持ってやる。使った分の宝石、俺と登坂で折半にすればいいんだろ。
Oh, you are such an idiot.
本当？男に二言はない？
ない。俺だって少しは貯金あるし、足りなかったら稼いで返す。登坂が溜め込んだ武器を使ってもらうわけだし、俺だって少しは誠意見せないとな。
Well, never mind, we're fucked. It's more like being obstinate than sincerity. We're literally gonna become Rin's slave after this if we survive. So actually, that's even more motivation to survive. I guess I want to show off to Tosaka that I'm a man.
なんだよ。口元いびつにねじ曲がってるぞ。
Yeah, she didn't say how much it was.
ええ、嬉しいのは本当だし、楽しみができたのも本当だから。
Okay.
ところでエミヤくん、この宝石一つどれくらいするのか聞かなくていいのかしら？
I'm so scared. I'm gonna say $1,000,000 yen. In the ballpark of $10,000-ish dollars.
まあ10万円ぐらいなんてことはないよな。
Oh, you silly boy. It's not gonna be 100,000 yen. I think it's gonna be $1,000,000 easy.
ないわね。使い捨ての宝石ならそれぐらいでいいんだけど。
じゃあ20万円。
It's gonna be $1,000,000 yen. I think I called it.
半端な上がり方ね。でもないわよ。
I mean, he doubled it. That's not an odd increase.
じゃあ25万円じゃないかと。
あのさ、普通こういう時って次の桁に移行しない？なんでいつまでも6の桁から？
言いたくないけど30万円とか。
No, it's probably like 3 billion or something.
だからなんで7桁に行かないの？
Oh, I love the voice acting.
もしかして100万円ですか？
I ask, feeling like I'm jumping off a bridge.
近い。もう一桁。
Oh God, 10 mil? That's well, 10 million. Jesus Christ. Wait a minute. Yeah, 10 million yen, if I'm not, it's like $100,000. Jesus Christ. But what's below me is a hole leading straight to hell. And that's a jewel, which means if we're using like 4 or 5, then we're gonna have to pay for like a couple. So we're probably gonna owe her at least 200 grand. Yeah, you're going to hell. It's astronomical. I can't imagine such a large number. If you convert it into damages, it would kill an enemy boss.
どうしたの？顔は青いわよ、エミヤくん。
いや、大丈夫。ちゃんと計算ぐらいできる。
That's the problem. I can, but it's working against me in this case exactly.
そう？じゃあ一応聞いておくけど、宝石使っていいのよね。 出し惜しみなしですがすがしいぐらい派手にやるわよ、私。
You're literally gonna be sucking on her toes in about 10 days? I swallow my words trying to tell her to use them sparingly if she can.
遠坂、借金いいかな？
I show as much courage as I can.
もちろん利子はつけないであげるから一生かけて返してね。
You're literally her slave. Tosaka-san answers seriously without a trace of humor. I literally just got the bad ending. This is the true bad ending, although maybe it's the true good ending. Hey, I can't pay back an amount that large even if I use my whole life. Man, I don't want to think about it, but I feel like Tosaka controls my life now. That was the greatest thing ever. I'm so glad I just decided, fuck Saber, I'm going with my best girl. I love Saber, but she ain't best girl, that's for sure. We reach an open clearing in the forest. The sun is rising and the forest is darkened by the morning mist. Compared to the inside of the dense forest, this place has an open view.
遠坂、ここ悪くないんじゃないのか？
そうね、条件はいくらかクリアしてるけど見晴らしが良すぎるのがどうもね。これじゃあ私はともかくセイバーとシローの逃げ道がないもの。
I mean, if we're all in, we're all in, right?
うん。
She's such a perfectionist considering even the escape routes.
他を渡りましょう。大丈夫、まだ時間はあるわ。
She's worried about you and Saber. Tosaka re-enters the forest. But Saber stares in the distance and doesn't move.
セイバー、何してるのよ。早くしないとイリアスフィールに。
She's already here. Feel a chill. That was a cool reaction from Rin. I can't forget it since I felt it once already. I can't even see him nor feel his presence, but this pressure on my body must be because of him. Girl's voice echoes through the forest. Beyond the mist, from inside the forest far away, something black comes straight for us. Oh boy. Is it because we're in a clearing under the open sky? I feel like Ilya is talking to us while looking down from the sky.
やば、あいつもうシロを見つけたの？まずい、ここじゃ視界が広すぎる。って何よこのスピード。これじゃあ2分かからない。
Jesus.
ちょっと何のんびりしてるのよ2人とも。
We're gonna make this location work.
ここじゃまずいって言ってるでしょ。早く場所を変えないと。
I don't think we've... Yeah, that's an interesting face on Rin, actually. Osaka takes my hand, but we won't make it.
いや、ここでいい、遠坂。3人で戦えるだけでも良好なんだ。これ以上は求められない。
Yeah, I mean, especially against Berserker, it makes sense to want to try and perfect the scenario as much as possible, but in the end, Rin's just got to accept the fact that this is the best chance we're gonna get.
バカ、それがまずいんだってば。ここじゃ横幅がありすぎるの。セイバーだけじゃバーサーカーを止められないし、いくら離れてたってあんたも前に入っちゃうじゃない。
遠坂が心配してくれてるのは分かってる。けど危険なのはみんな一緒だ。
Realistically,
こうなっちゃ逃げ道なんかないんじゃないのか。
trying to run away is honestly gonna probably put you in a worse situation at this point.
それはそうだけど。
I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do.
セイバーもいいな。ここでバーサーカーを迎え撃つ。
Saber nods quietly.
もう分かったわよ。簡単にやられたら怒るからね。
She must have agreed as she disappeared into the fog. Once she goes into action, she's super fast. She gets away from the clearing and goes up a tree in the forest.
来るぞセイバー。準備はいいか。
あなたも戦いが始まったら決してここから前には出ないように。何があろうとバーサーカーをここには近づけさせません。
Sounds like a plan. Here we go. The fog flickers. I flicker back. No, I'm just kidding. I wonder how many... Actually, maybe some of you might get that reference. From the morning fog, as if a black darkness is seeping out, the mad warrior appears along with a white girl that never gets old. That's a really cool shot. Berserker looks sick as fuck in that shot.
意外ね。てっきり最後まで逃げ回るとばかり思ってたのに。それとも、もう観念したの？お兄ちゃん。
I don't know about giving up. There's about 40 meters between us and Ilya. We're facing each other on opposite ends of the clearing.
セイバーは治ったんだ。そっか。だから逃げ回るのはやめにしたのね。
Yep.
欲しいな。そんなことで私に勝てると思うのは可愛いんだけど。残念ね。シロはここで死ぬんだもの。
Very possible, but we're gonna try and make sure that doesn't happen. Her laughter echoes through the forest. Does it irritate her? Saber, standing beside me, is so worked up that she could attack at any moment.
もうつまんないな。ずいぶん無口になっちゃったのね。もしかして殺されるのは怖いの？そんなのもったいないよ。今命乞いをすれば私も許してあげないこともないんだから。
Girl over here just wants to have fun. Tosaka must have finished climbing the tree. If she's going to place herself, it will be near the center of the clearing. Nobody would notice if she was right where the branches are overlapping, and they should be strong enough to support her as well.
そう。あくまでそういう態度なんだ。なら、もうおしゃべりはここまでだね。リンともども殺してあげ。待ちなさい。リンはどうしたの？シロ。
I guess that's what you expect from Berserker's master. She has a complete understanding of what can be overlooked and what can't be.
遠坂はここにはいない。あいつと俺たちは塔に別れた。
別行動を取ったの？そっか。セイバーを連れてるシロは足手まといだものね。リン一人ならもっと遠くに逃げられる。
That's the thing, right? Like, if Rin was just like a normal master, logically, that would be what she would do in that scenario. Especially after having to essentially sacrifice her servant. Run away and try and save yourself.
そういうことだ。もうとっくに森を出てるだろう。今から追っても間に合わないぞ。
そうかしら。この森はアインズベルンの結界よ。誰が入ってきて誰が出ていったかぐらいはわかるんだから。あれから外に出た人間は一人もいない。リンはまだ森にいるわ。探し出すのはこの後でも十分よ。
Fair enough. Thank God. Philia can only sense the boundaries of the forest. She doesn't know about Tosaka yet, unless she's acting, which would be crazy. Actually, she completely believed what I said. Which does seem in her character. Ilya is certainly a cold-hearted master, but still, can't that whole cold-heartedness still be recovered? You're such a fucking simp.
イリア、戦う前にもう一度だけ聞くぞ。マスターを辞めて、こんな戦いをやめることはできないのか？
できないよ。おじいさまの言いつけだもの。
Gotta obey the OG-sama.
バーサーカーがいる限り、私はアインツベルンのマスターなの。イリアは他のマスターたちを殺して聖杯を持ち帰らなくちゃいけないんだから。
Fair enough.
それに、もう一度だけ聞くのはこっちだよ。
Also fair.
私はアインツベルンの当主だから、あんな言葉二度は言わないわ。
Yeah, no, we're not gonna be your
シロ
servant.
が答え直すって言うんなら、ちゃんと聞いてあげてもいいんだよ。
She has a little hope in her voice. But as long as Saber is beside me, I can't nod to her words.
答えは変わらない。俺はセイバーのマスターだ。お前がマスターを辞めないって言うんなら、バーサーカーを倒して辞めさせる。
Oh, I can't wait to see you try. I declare so while looking at Ilya and Berserker. In that instant, the air in the clearing freezes.
そう。なら、本気で殺してあげる。
Oh, it's so good.
その思い上がりと一緒に粉々に砕いてあげるわ、シロ。
Referring to him by name. What is that? Pattern is appearing on her face. No, it's not just her face. That thing is all over her body. It's a huge command spell and comparable to the ones we have.
遊びは終わりよ。蹴散らしなさい、ヘラクレス。
Heracles, but a dead voice. As if to answer it, the giant behind her roars. Oh yeah, back to this again. A scream that shakes the earth. The giant screams as if going insane, and its every ability increases as it deforms and swells.
そんな理性を奪っていただけで凶暴化させていなかったというのか。
That's terrifying. It's only natural for Saber to feel a shudder. Even I, unable to tell how strong a warrior is, can sense that this is not to be messed with.
行け、近寄る者はみんな殺しちゃえ、バーサーカー。
Well, what about Ilya? What about you? It's an explosive roar. It roars out, not even a howl now, and the giant jumps in. Here we go. Oh god, this music's hype as fuck. What the hell? A silver light dashes forward in reply. Okay, let's go. Oh yes. Oh yes, we got a little bit in here. Berserker lands in the center of the clearing. A huge body descends and Saber runs straight for its landing point. The ground trembles. As if stopping a meteor, Saber attacks Berserker. Damn. Damn, they're really going for it. Oh, that's so cool. That is such a cool shot. It is the return of legends. In this forest filled with the morning mist, the two shadows clash without ceasing. Berserker is just overwhelming. If his horizontal blow is a whirlwind, his descending blow is a waterfall. If Saber takes such an attack, it would prove fatal even for her. Saber repels such attacks straight on without faltering. Against storm-like blows, she deflects them with all her might. If she doesn't, she will be slashed in half along with her sword. The infinite blows that continue without pause are in fact a blow diverted with all her might. The continuous sound of clashing. Their ranges are different. Their speeds are different. Their strengths remaining are too different. The only thing possible for Saber is to smash her sword into the unavoidable attack and stop it from slashing her by offsetting it with her own blow. Ho 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 ho! Holy fuck. To speak metaphorically, Berserker is a broken rock drill. The blade spinning in all directions will mercilessly destroy all that approach. If one reaches out even a little, that's it. One would get entangled in the blade and be shred into pieces, unable even to run away. A normal human can't go up against such a thing. If approaching it is fatal, you can only run away. But Saber places herself within the blades and does not retreat, so she will be cut down bit by bit. The swords make sparks, and it's only natural for her armor to splinter bit by bit. She is constantly putting herself in fatal situations. I just hold my breath. In ancient times, the heroes that went up against dragons must have all been like her. They know well enough that their strengths are different, but still, they bet on the chance of a lifetime. Oh, this is so sick. A great violence surpassing human. They defend until the only opening appears, and many warriors died when no such miracle occurred. Their fight is just that. A dazzling battle that takes my eyes away, but there's only one end prepared, with it being Saber's defeat as she is hurt more by the second. But she just gotta hold on and hope for the best. The roar shakes the ground. Berserker's whirlwind cuts through the wind and flings back the defending Saber. Saber's armor chips away with every blow as she hits the ground. She charges bravely at Berserker without falling to her knees. But she's already at her limits. Saber's breathing wildly and her movements are slowing down, even to my eyes. She's not even trying to create an opening in Berserker. Saber will be slashed by him in a few more blows. In my clenched fist is a bow. Fuck it. The instant Saber is flung away, I fire at Berserker. This won't hurt him, but it should at least take his attention off Saber. This might kill us. The arrow that hits Berserker's temple does nothing. I can't even get his attention. The giant does not block. No, he doesn't even care about my attack. Sure. Ilia's laugh echoes through the forest. I can't do anything. Saber's about to collapse in front of me and I can't do anything. I'm too weak. I can't hurt Berserker no matter what I do. All I'm doing is distracting Saber. A strong blow. Saber, repelling that attack, has her feet driven into the ground up to her ankles. The blows are heavy and fast. The axe sword flying above Saber's head comes down. The sword shaves off some of her armor as she flings herself away and breaks the ground. Oh, that's sick. I feel like I'll grind my teeth down. Am I unable to do anything after all? You do have a command spell. I can't protect Saber nor fight alongside her. Win this battle, Saber. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is use my command spell. Oh, the sword. Imagine defeating him. Oh shit. That guy said so. The one you need to fight is none other than your own image. That's right. What was he saying? It wasn't his usual harassment. Those words held an importance that I need to understand right now. No, saying that. Weren't all of his words a warning that I shouldn't have ignored? Of course, because he's the GOAT. Saber's body is flung away. She didn't jump to get away. She took a blow. That storm-like blow landed right on her side. Saber totters. Concentrating strength into her numb fingers, she faces Berserker again, coughing violently. The giant will not miss the opening Saber has finally shown. My voice won't reach them. It's useless for me to say anything, and it's useless for me to have a bow mimicking archers. Do I still not understand what I can do? What I should be doing? That's right. What do I need in order to save Saber? A bow won't do. Even a lance won't be able to pierce him, and that doesn't mean I should have the same weapon as the enemy. That giant. To defeat that mountain, I'll need a sword. A sharp and gorgeous sword of the king that will defeat the enemy in one blow. The sword that I've always been destined to wield, that I've been dreaming about my entire life. Like, that golden sword so suited to her that I saw in my dreams. Oh my god, bro's actually gonna summon Caliburn, isn't he? He's gonna make Caliburn. My head hurts. Bearing my nausea, I still stare at Saber. But ironically, I feel like I'm going crazier the more I stare at her, about to collapse. Dude, he's literally about to bring Caliburn out of fucking nothing, isn't he? Fucking sorcery bullshit here. I mean, maybe he's gonna turn the bow into Caliburn or a replica of Caliburn or whatever, but part of me thinks he's actually just gonna summon it out of the ether. Saber and Berserker's movements seem to be in slow motion. Many switches are arranged in a row. Coughing, Saber bends her body in pain for an instant. Berserker smashes down his axe sword with all his might. As if making a line, the firing hammers move into position, one by one. It seems like knocking down dominoes. The triggers are pulled all at once. Berserker's blow smashes Saber away. It's fatal. Saber's body is split through the waist and her pieces are thrown into the air. What the fuck? Is he about to change fate? The only thing flung into the air is Saber's armor. Okay. For a second I got scared because this game is called Fate. Berserker only smashed Saber's armor. Saber created an opening to make Berserker take a large swing, and Saber charges in at top speed using all the energy she has left. A black howl surges out, but he can't retreat from Saber, who is right in front of him. She places both hands on her sword and slashes at Berserker with all her might. I can't believe it. The giant that seemed to be rooted to the ground is smashed back a few meters by Saber's blow. And then the true final attack is executed instantly. She must intend to fire from as close as possible. Tosaka jumps down from the branch high above and throws her jewels as she descends. There she is. A rain of ice swirls down. In it, 3 giant icicles shaped like spears have enough magical energy concentrated in them to blow away a whole mansion. Ilya, who was only watching until now, screams. She must have realized how dangerous that attack is, but it's too late. The spear of ice isn't just falling. As it's fired, it is accelerating to skewer Berserker. There's no way he would be able to dodge it. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A shotgun of ice perfectly coordinated with Saber's desperate attack. It has more than enough magical energy in it to be able to kill Berserker. But what's gonna happen? He swings his axe sword through the air. Even as he's pushed back by Saber, he destroys 3 blocks of ice with his quickly readied axe sword. Splashes of blood. Perhaps because he swung with only one arm, the ice is not completely destroyed and it lacerates his arm. Okay, not a total loss, but not a fatal blow. Not only that, the ice refreezes on the giant's arm and stops its movement completely. Okay, but still, it got only one of his arms. Saber raises her voice. It's only natural, because Berserker's other arm has grabbed Tosaka's body as she descended onto him. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. I mean, Archer died in this route. Maybe Tosaka will too. I mean, honestly, at this point, I don't know. Tosaka's face contorts in pain. With Berserker's power, it should be no problem to crush Tosaka. I run. I don't care if I'm only dragging her down. I don't care if I can't do anything. Here we go. Caliburn. I won't let him crush Tosaka. Saber must not have any power left to stand, but she still lifts her body. Tosaka must be in pain as she reaches out with her face downcast. She's gonna say, yep, she saw this coming. Oh, Rid, you're gonna make me cry! She smiles and speaks boldly. Yo! She's got the rest of them! Everyone gasps. Saber, I, and even Berserker must have frozen. She's horrible. She lied the whole time, that bitch! She knew this was gonna happen, yet never told us about it, her true plan. She's fucking sacrificing herself, isn't she? Holy fuck, what the fuck is she gonna do? Berserker puts power into his grip, but it's a second too late. Yeah, you gotta say got you first. Jesus Christ! Bullets of light are fired. Yo, that's such a sick shot! These are so good. These are goated screenshot material here. 4 jewels are used. The rapid fire from perfect point-blank range kills the Black Mad Warrior for sure this time. No. It has splendidly, perfectly blown away his life. And did she not get crushed? It seems like she didn't get crushed. Did Berserker's head get blown off? Blood splatters over me and I'm at least 10 meters away. Is this his spinal fluid? Shinzo Sasageyo. I can't be too happy about it when there are things other than blood mixed in it. But I'm sure it wasn't overkill. He was a monster. Bet Tosaka would have been crushed if she didn't blow off his head in a single blow. I slow my running steps. Tosaka is still held by Berserker, but the battle is over. Berserker's face is still covered in white smoke. From the smoldering sounds, it must have been a huge explosion. I swear to fuck if this guy's still alive. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. I hear Tosaka's voice. She's looking into the white smoke, dumbfounded. Ah. Lovely. Hold on. Is it just my imagination? Berserker's fingers holding Tosaka are digging deeper into her. Tosaka is just staring at the white smoke. But it doesn't last long. The large cloud of white smoke fades away. In it... Jesus! It actually makes him look way more human, ironically enough. Is Berserker's face, though it was certainly blown away. Osaka's at a loss for words, cowed by the demonic stare. Laughter echoes through the clearing. The Silver Master controlling Berserker from the edge of the clearing is laughing. So that was a killing blow, because they mentioned Archer killed him 6 times. Ah. So we're still 5 deaths away. Jesus fucking Christ. She must have figured out something important from Ilya's words. Tosaka's eyes are strained in faint regret.
神名が分かった時点で思い当たるべきだった。ヘラクレスって言ったらヒドラの弓なのに、持ってるのはただの岩だった。だからこいつの宝具は物じゃないんだ。英雄ヘラクレスのシンボルはその、そう、肉体そのものがヘラクレスの宝具なのよ。
Jesus.
あなたも知っているでしょ。
The 12 labors of Heracles, sure.
ギリシャの英雄ヘラクレスは己が罪を償うために12もの冒険を乗り越え、そのご褒美として不死になった。
That just reminds me of a wrestling parody of the 12 labors of Heracles. I swear to God, that's a real thing that happened. It's interesting because that's an interesting take on a noble phantasm. That does kind of widen the range of what even a noble phantasm can be in this universe. Because it's not even like a weapon in this point. Like I said, it's a something like, yeah, it's a direct reference to the 12 labors. Yeah, it's a form of his immortality, so to speak.
この意味、あなたならわかるでしょ。命のストック、蘇生魔術の重ねがけ。
Multiple layers of resurrection magic, huh?
ええ、だからそいつは簡単には死ねないの。 かつて自分が乗り越えた分の試練は生き延びてしまう神々にかけられた不死の呪い。
That's crazy.
それが私のバーサーカーの宝具ゴッドハンドなんだから。
Well, we did actually need it, though.
わかった。バーサーカーは今ので死んでしまったけど、あと5つの命があるの。
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Archer somehow killed him 6 times. Like, what the fuck?
欲しかったわね、リー。今のが5倍の宝石だったらバーサーカーは消えていたのに。
I can't hear Ilya too well. I see Saber run up to Berserker out of the corner of my eye.
リン、逃げて。
She literally is... She can't run. Saber dashes to her. Tosaka tries to tear off Berserker's fingers, but they won't even budge. Then...
いいよ、バーサーカー。そいつ潰しちゃえ。
Oh boy, here it comes. Oh god. The burning eyes glare at Tosaka. Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to see this. I'm surprised it's even taking more than a second. Tosaka screams, unless he wants to savor in the torture a little bit, since she did kill him. The giant's fingers dig in as if to scoop out Tosaka's guts. Ew. What lies ahead is that inescapable figure of her, miserably crushed. I run. I forget who I'm against or where I am. My mind is already burned up.
させるか。
Saber slashes at Berserker. The invisible sword is swung at Berserker's defenseless arm as if chopping a vegetable. But it has no effect. The sword bounces back. Not only does it not hurt Berserker's arm, but it does not even loosen Berserker's grip on Tosaka. It must be painful for her to even move. Saber swings her sword desperately as blood spills from her mouth.
シロ。
Her face freezes as she sees me run up to Berserker.
話しやがれてめえ。
I smack my bow against his back. Oh my god, you idiot. The giant does not budge. It must think nothing of me at all. My fingers are numb. What kind of a body does he have if I, the one doing the hitting, have my hands go numb?
逃げて、シロ。
Huh? I raise my face at Saber's voice. In that instant, what the hell did you get hit with? My body flies through the air like a leaf. The fuck was that? I drop like a piece of trash. Berserker smacked me with that frozen sword. Oh. The bow I instantly blocked with is easily smashed. I'm thrown so far. Yeah, that's about right. I writhe in pain. The breaking sound was not from the bow. One of my arms is bent like a spider's. Breathing hurts so much that I want to smash my lungs up. I can't breathe right from the blood coming up my throat. But it doesn't matter. Breathing will just make me pass out. I shouldn't be breathing right now. I get up. Right now I have to... Okay, no choice. I run. It's my turn this time. I'll break his arm and save Tosaka. He must have eyes on the back of his head as he swings his sword as if flinging away a bug. I can dodge it. I won't be hit by something swung with a frozen arm. You idiot. Damn, my body is sinking. It must have scraped my leg. Damn it, don't break my leg when you haven't even hit it.
バカな。もういい。離れなさい、マスター。
I can't do that. I won't let Tosaka die. What do I need to save her? A weapon. A blade would be good. At my feet are the remains of the destroyed bow. Above me is Berserker's sword coming down. I pick up a broken piece. Descending sword. There's no time to think. I channel my magical energy into it. I easily succeed at strengthening it, but the sword comes down. The broken piece is totally smashed this time. My body, that should have dodged the blow, collapses. There was no meaning in strengthening such a broken piece. If I am to do it again, I have to do it from the very beginning. Nothing should be impossible. There's a model, anyone can imitate it, so I have to repeat the foundation, composition, work, experience, time, and... The giant turns. It must have decided to kill this annoying nuisance before Tosaka. Raising my body, I glare at the giant. I have no fear. My mind is already burned up. Come on, you gotta do this. You gotta get this sword. But behind me. Uh-oh. Prepared even for her own elimination. Saber's determined to use her holy sword. Fuck. Status screen updated? What the fuck did we just get? Oh, I don't know. The hell did we get? Oh, maybe assassin thing? Oh, not assassin. Sorry, berserker. Yeah, I don't know. It's not important right now. I feel like we're not... Oh, God. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel like I want to trust Shiro. I think don't use it's the play. This seems so fucking insane. But I actually think don't use it's the play. The wind unravels. I start to see the golden sword in Saber's hand. The one that must not be used. The sword I told her not to use under any circumstances. I snap. It makes the last rope holding me snap. Command spell. My left hand is burning. One of the command spells disappears.
どうしてもうこれしかないではないですか、シロ。
I don't know. Oh, this is definitely a death. This is definitely a mistake. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that you'll disappear if you use that. I won't allow that. And I can't forgive myself for not being able to let her use her sword freely and for not being able to save Tosaka myself. Saber falls to her knees. Just releasing the sword gets her like that. You can't use that sword in your condition. So wait. If you can't use that sword, I'll make one that you can use. Caliburn!
現実でかなわない相手なら想像の中で勝て。
Yep.
自身が勝てないのなら勝てるものを幻想しろ。
With that said, it's obvious. That's the only thing I can do. So make it. Make something that will not lose to anything. Always imagine the strongest. Imagine the best imitation that will deceive everybody, even yourself. Man, I'm getting Steins Gate vibes. Hardcore! Whether Chiyomaru took some degree of inspiration, even though they're incredibly different stories, it is not difficult at all. It is not impossible. Anything is possible. From the beginning, this body was a magic circuit specialized for this purpose alone. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, we already know Shiro is something... He's not a magus. Is that what he is? A magic circuit? Shiro himself? I spring up. My whole body is burning and my left hand feels like it's on fire.
あの剣は私の。
Saber's voice is filled with blank amazement. She is staring at what I'm holding, which should not exist here. Does the sword have a will of its own? Yo! The golden sword does not stop, and as it pulled towards it, slashes through the giant's arm. That's so cool. Yeah, it's definitely Caliburn. Tosaka falls with the arm that was grabbing her, and the sword that cut through his arm shatters like glass. Or a Caliburn so good that it fools everyone, even the creator. All the blood in me regurgitates, but there's no problem there. The sword broke. That is impossible. If I imitated that sword, it cannot be broken. It broke because it was not sufficient. My image of it fell short of the real sword. His eyes stare at me. The giant sword is swung to really kill me this time. I don't care about that. He's not my opponent. I am my opponent. For Emi Yashiro, there is only one opponent. The sword just now wasn't perfect. The unbreakable sword broke because there was a flaw in the assumptions. If I am to duplicate it, I can not only duplicate its shape, I must also reproduce the maker. I hear a gasp. In front of me is the axe sword swung like a storm and a defending sword that is being made. I don't know if I'm desperate, but I'm blocking the attack with the sword in my hand. That's none of my business. What I need to do now is make this real. Oh my god, this is so cool. So we're talking about reality manipulation, and we're talking about it in the context of taking something that isn't possible and making it possible. And this entire time, Archer knew the entire time exactly who or what Emi Yashiro was. He understood all along, where no one else clearly did. That is a mistake as well. Emi Yashiro is not made for fighting. Yep, there it is. Your fight is a mental fight, a fight with yourself. I know that without being told. What I must do is simple. Injection start. I concentrate. I am challenging myself. No deviation or compromise is allowed. Oh my god. Yo. Yo. Judging the concept of creation. Hypothesizing the basic structure. Duplicating the composition material. Imitating the skill of its making. Sympathizing with the experience of its growth. Reproducing the accumulated years. Excelling every manufacturing process. Channeling all of that into this moment. Now, I bind the illusion and make it a sword. Yep. And there's the theme. And now we're playing the saber theme or whatever the fuck. I forget. I was told what this was called, but... Yep. The giant howls. The sword blocks the numerous blows, smashing madly. But this is it. I'm tossed away. As soon as my consciousness returns, the sword must have left everything in my hands. I am easily thrown away by the attacks I was easily blocking until now. The senses in my arms are already gone. My wrist is about to rip off as I can see the red meat. My legs won't move. All my muscles must have stopped working. I can't stand up. Yep, this is so cool. I made the sword that surpasses Berserker. But that's all. As I am only a maker, I cannot handle the sword, yep. A shadow engulfs me. He must know who he needs to kill first now. Berserker pursues me like wind and swings his sword. But his sword is deflected. As I stand there in blank amazement, I notice another hand over my hand. Yep. The air shakes violently. The giant launches an attack with all his might to destroy everything. But just before that, I hear a voice closer than anything. Yep. If Berserker attacked me like a gust, Saber must have rushed to me like a gale. Having rushed to me, Saber turns around and... That's such a cool shot. The sword of rock breaks. A flash of the golden sword smashes the giant's axe sword, slashes into the hard body, and finally, we took this motherfucker down. Jesus Christ. If the shape is similar, the ability must be similar as well. The golden sword digging deep into Berserker engulfs the giant's body from the inside. That's only for an instant. The light disappears and silence returns to the forest. Strength departs from my body. The body that was so hot starts to cool down. The sword is disappearing from the tip. I watch it absent-mindedly. We stand next to each other, holding the same sword until it disappears completely. Wind blows through the forest clearing. Neither the howling that shook the ground nor the blows that cut the air remain now.
それが貴様の剣か、セイバー。
Oh, wow. The undefeatable giant becomes motionless and says so in a deep voice, gazing at the knight that defeated him.
これはカリバーン。王を選定する岩の剣。永遠に失われた私の剣。
Yep. The sword and the stone.
ですが、
今のは貴様の剣ではなかろう。それはその男が作り上げた幻想に過ぎん。
Interesting voice for Heracles. Very deep. I mean, I guess it makes sense. Saber nods quietly.
所詮はまがいもの。二度とは存在せぬ剣だ。だが、しかし。
It was real in all but actuality. Berserker's chest splits open. Slowly, from the wound made by that light, he crumbles away like sand.
その幻想も侮れぬ。よもやただの一撃でこの身を7度滅ぼすとはな。
It destroyed him sevenfold and he only had 5 lives left. And you know what's important to note about that? It means that we still would not have won without Archer. He puts no emotion into his dying words. The mad warrior follows his role until the very end, and his existence disperses as if fading into the air. Holy shit, we defeated Archer. I mean, what the fuck? We defeated Berserker and we're still barely alive. I feel dizzy. It must be the cost of using such excessive magic. My blood that ran wild is crushing my brain with too much oxygen. And on top of that, I have a headache like my head is splitting open. It's because the enemy has disappeared and the thing numbing my pain has disappeared. The dizziness and the headache come at me as if to make up for what is accumulated. Ugh.
Shiro.
Yeah, I want to make sure, I want to find out for sure if Rin's dead or not, because that's a thing that happened. Or is she maybe still alive? I'm assuming she's not, but Saber supports my collapsing body. But she can't have any energy to spare to care for me.
いや、大丈夫だ。ところどころ骨が折れてるけど、命には別状はない。例の自然治癒も働いてるし、なんとかなる。
I'll manage.
何を言うのです。あれだけの投影魔術を使ったのですから、今は休息を取らないと。
Yeah, that's like probably like A or S tier projection magic. Like that's insane.
いや、けど。
There's someone I have to talk to first.
イリアスフィール。
Saber prepares herself. Ilya's staring at the place where Berserker used to be with empty eyes. Yeah, she failed.
ちょうどいい。何のつもりかは知りませんが、追う手間が省けました。
ダメだ、セイバー。イリアには手を出さないでくれ。バーサーカーがいなくなったんなら、イリアは。
I stopped Saber with my remaining strength. She must not realize we're here. Staring at the ground, Ilya murmurs.
嘘。バーサーカー。死んじゃったの。
That is correct. She sounds like an abandoned child.
イリア。
I restrain Saber with my hand and quietly call out to her. She must have noticed me from that. Ilya slightly raises her head and... I had a feeling she was gonna burst into tears. That seems in character at this point. Suddenly, falls to the ground like a doll being switched off. Or... was Grandpa literally using her like a fucking... What the fuck? I don't know what's going on. I just stare at the girl on the ground. As if to replace her, Tosaka gets up. Berserker's hand has disappeared, and it seems she's finally free. Okay! Okay, we're okay. Rin's actually okay. Or alive, at least. I must have relaxed seeing Tosaka's safety. I feel like I'm about to faint. But I can't whine like that. Even though we defeated Berserker, we're still in the forest. We have to push our wounded bodies and get out of this forest now. Are you gonna take Ilya's doll body with you? I look up at the dawning sky. The town is far away, and I cannot find any uninjured allies, nor any place on my own body that's not hurt. But still, we made it to the morning. The night I was prepared not to live through. After driving off the greatest enemy, we leave the winter forest. Holy shit. There it is. Oh my god. Interval level 4? What a weird name for the next day? Chapter 12. And it's in line now with February 12th. Holy shit. Oh my god. Ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls. Oh my goodness. That was epic. That was awesome. We just fought Berserker and won. And as they've been building up to the entire game, Shiro had his big moment where he summoned Caliburn. And that was a big part of why they beat Berserker. Obviously, Archer was a big part. Tosaka had a role to play. There was a lot going on there. But in the end, Shiro managed to figure it out. And it was really fucking cool. That was an awesome fight. As you guys know, I do a lot of like in the when things are kind of chill, I do a lot of discussion, and when things get really intense, I just try and like read through it and really get into the moment. Certainly in this fight with Berserker, there was a lot of really cool moments. I love that at the end we got to hear like kind of from the real Heracles for a second there, and that little exchange with Saber was really cool. Obviously, I'm really curious what the situation is with Ilya. I'm curious if we're even going to learn that now or in this route or anything. And I'm just really curious if there's any more to go with her character. Because in this route, Archer's dead, Berserker's dead, Shinji's dead. So I'm really curious, like, where does this route go from here? Like, we still have Assassin, we still have Lancer, and we don't know anything about Lancer, who Lancer's master is. There's still the master, whoever the master is in the school, the other master, whether that's either Assassin's master, Lancer's master, or Caster's master. Yeah, because we've dealt with Berserker. Obviously, Archer's dealt with. Obviously, Saber is ours. So there's Lancer, Caster, Assassin, and yeah, we dealt with Rider. So yeah, there's only 4 left. It's Lancer, Caster, Assassin, and Lancer, Caster, Assassin, and Saber. Obviously, we're Saber and Shiro. Well, we're Shiro, but we have Saber, and then there's Lancer, Caster, and Assassin, all of which we don't know the masters of. So we're in this weird position where it feels like the Fate route was focused on like Saber and Shinji, and it was focused on Ilya and Berserker, and now we're in this weird part of the route where we have enemies left, but we don't know any of their masters. We don't even know what Caster looks like. And we're in this weird position where it's like, to me, that felt very climactic. It feels like we're kind of near the end of the route, to be honest, but I don't understand. Like, there's no way the route isn't going to involve, like, a actual conclusion to the Holy Grail Wars. So, I'm really curious where that's going to go. Really curious where the story goes from here. Let me actually... Yeah, I already saved. So let's, yeah, let's go to the title screen. So I'm just really curious where this is gonna go and what's left for the Fate route. Because I'm assuming they're gonna be conclusions to the Holy Grail War, but it feels like we've kind of finished all the arcs we were building up. And even though we got a little tease of Lancer in the prologue, we got a little bit of Lancer in the prologue, a little bit of Assassin, still no caster. I don't know. It feels like it'd be kind of weird to start focusing on them. This felt very climactic to me, and it all feels tied together, and I feel like we'd be moving into a new stage of the story. So, and I don't know what that means. So I'm very curious where this is going. But that was awesome, obviously. The fight with Berserker, I think, lived up to the hype. Saber is in a position where she's able to fight readily, but right now she can't really use her Noble Phantasm Excalibur. But obviously Shiro does have quite a bit that he can do, quite a bit that he can help with, and I really like that, I really like that Shiro has found his way to fight and understands that, and now he's, you know, kind of achieved his destiny of sorts that Archer saw for him, and that was always meant to be. And now we lead into this stage of Fate where I'm just very curious, now that Shiro's kind of figuring out what he actually can do, how he actually can fight. Rin's still alive, and of course, Saber is kicking and generally doing pretty well, at least the best she has been in a while. I'm just very curious where we go from here. It feels like Berserker was like the ultimate enemy, and now that we've taken him out, it feels kind of weird that we still have multiple other enemies that are going to present different challenges still left on the board. But at this point, half of the players are off the board. Shinji and Ryder are off the board. Rin and Archer are off the board. Ilya and Berserker are off the board. So I'm very intrigued as to what comes next in the Fate route of Fate Stay Night and Fate Stay Night in general. Because I still don't know if the routes are going to be just your traditional routes where it's just things go differently, or if there's going to be a deeper stuff going on here as far as the routes are concerned. But I guess we'll have to find out, because so far the Fate route is certainly not over yet, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. So I'm going to cut off here. I'm probably going to take a little break, and I'm planning to actually get a second recording in and actually finally get this bonus episode recorded. So obviously you guys will see this video on what'll be Friday the 11th of November, but hopefully we'll have a bonus video this coming Tuesday that I'm hoping to record in a few minutes, shortly. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoyed another episode of the Fate Let's Play. And, yeah, if you guys want to support the channel, my Patreon's down below in the description, as is my Discord server. There's other things. I don't know. I'm weird. It's like I'm feeling kind of tired because it's, a little over 6 in the morning and I haven't went to sleep. But at the same time, I am also excited for more. So I'm in a weird spot where I don't really know what I'm going to do. I might not record more, honestly. But, I don't know. It's still too early to go out and get food, though, so I still need to pass a few hours. I'll probably just pass out, realistically, if I don't stop here. But, I don't know. I'll probably actually stop now that I think about it. But I'll try to record the next episode soon, and maybe you guys will still get the bonus episode on Tuesday. I really want to get this bonus episode done, because now I'm starting to worry that I'm actually getting maybe kind of possibly getting close to the end of the Fate route, so I definitely want to make sure I get this bonus episode done so we can get back on track and not mess with anything because of it. But anyways, I had a blast. That was an awesome episode of Fate. Not a super long one. That's going to be an under 3-hour part, which is kind of nice. But I feel like it was a very satisfying part. We got the Rialta Nua version of the scene with what's the replacement for the H scene, and of course all of that awesome action with Berserker was phenomenal. Of course, Heracles had a great fight. We kind of had our farewell to him, which was awesome, and I'm just really excited, like I said, to see what comes next. What do we do now that I mean, arguably the scariest piece, the toughest piece, the best piece is off the board, and we're down to the final 4: Lancer, Saber, Caster, and Assassin. I guess we'll find out next time on Fate Stay Night. So I'll see you guys next time when we do lucky number 13. Episode 13. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those of you who have not yet decided, without any further ado, it is time for me to bid you adieu. Flamin' Shark, signing out. Hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastical day, and I'll see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.